But I think the development of full artificial intelligence will spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
So you said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, Ash, the reptilian from Mars. And hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? It is Friday night. Happy Friday, and that means it is show night. And that's when we get together and talk about those forbidden things. You know what they are. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, 24-hour news cycle, the government, the technocracy, academia, and everything in between. And how it all fits together and how it all seems upside down. That's what this show's about in a nutshell, and that's what we're here to do. If you can't talk about it around the water cooler, I guess you can call us the digital water cooler. If that doesn't sound so derogatory. Yes, all right. So Friday night, here we are. We're doing it again, and we got some stuff on deck tonight. We got some really hot stuff, don't we? What's up, Ash? Ash, the reptilian from Mars. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, guys. How's everyone out there doing tonight?
Looking good so far from the chat. I got some hearts out there and some excited folks, and you know, looks good. Looks good to me. I guess we'll find out as we go. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been trying to. Alex Jones is on the Tim Pool podcast, and I donated to try and get my mantis alien question answered. So I'm like trying to catch up and trying to see if we can, you know, pop that over if he answers. But I don't know. They're pretty engaged over there. So, but we're gonna have better conversations over here.
We're gonna do it better over here.
So,
we're gonna stay on track.
That's right.
But yeah, I was watching a little bit of that too. So Alex Jones is on Tim Pool, and they can't stick to a topic for more than 90 seconds, and they all derail each other, and they all end up. Yeah, it's just, you know, train wreck city. But whatever, that's entertaining anyway.
Yeah, it's ADD incarnate. I thought I was bad. I thought I was bad, man. But yeah, they're just going in circles over there. But yeah, I'm glad to be here. It's good to be back. It's been a little bit. I haven't been on in a while, and Yeah, it's good to be here. It's good to. There's a lot of interesting stuff. It's still everything's still ramping up as it goes along, and so many different things to talk about. But I'm excited for the subject matter tonight. Just happy to be here like always.
What's on deck tonight? Why don't you let the cat out of the bag? What are we talking about tonight?
All right, guys. So there's a giant elephant in the room. Okay, it's an alien elephant. All right, you know how I like to talk about the aliens. And so this article's been circulating. It's been super hot, like everywhere. And it's about this Israeli, what is he, security officer, a really high-ranking official for the Israeli security council. Basically, like if someone was going to know something about aliens, it would be this guy. And he just came out with it. He's like, yeah, I'm tired of it. Earth is in talks with the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and the truth has to come out. And so, yeah, we're going to touch on that. That's been going around the news cycles like crazy. It's super interesting. Just another step towards, I guess, full disclosure. I don't know if that was like planned or it's literally his frustration. Who knows? But that's what we'll be talking about tonight. So we got some clips from a lot of different subject matters talking about this, referencing it. It's still coming in. I mean, literally was scrambling to get clips as it was happening in real time about all these different people throwing in their hat on this subject. So that's kind of what we'll be talking about tonight. Pretty excited for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that would be the Israeli Space Security Chief. That's his official title for the last 30 years. So anyway, we'll get to that article and we'll talk about that tonight. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do it a little bit different because I got an announcement to make about some Twitch shows that we're going to do. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to skip the news and we're going to do shout outs and then we'll go straight to aliens and the topic here. So then after we do the shout outs, I'll explain why that's the case, and then we'll get into the aliens here. So let's do the shout outs before the Facebook scrolls too far and we miss everybody. So I'm gonna just start on Facebook before it scrolls and I start missing people. What's up, Tamron gets first on Facebook. Tamron from South Africa, thanks for being here. Eric from Pittsburgh, a close second. Hello. William from Singapore. Hello, troubled minded people. How you doing? Matt from Pittsburgh, thanks for being here tonight, my man. We got Larry. How you doing? We got Jimmy. Hello, everyone. Let's see. What else do we got? We got Rob. Rob says Galactic Federation. Yeah, you're in the right place. We're talking about the Galactic Federation tonight. Let's see. Rob says Jupiter and Saturn are converging. Yeah, it's coming, right? 10 days, something like that. Derek, what's up from Saskatchewan, Canada? Thanks for being here. Let's see. Matt says this country is done. Now it is the USSA. You're right. USSA, parentheses R. Right. Let's see. What else do we got? We got Candy from Las Vegas. Thanks for showing up tonight. We've got, let's see. Larry, never concede, never surrender. What's up, buddy? That's a great tagline. Derek, hello, Ash and Michael. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. Sean says America will use the weather as weapons in 2021 with China. This is a prophecy of World War III. Okay, back off the edge, buddy. Slow down. We're talking aliens tonight. What's up, Sherry? Thanks for being here. Sherry from the ethereal plane. Thanks for showing up. We got Robert. Robert says, sometimes I can feel my bones straining under the weight of all the lives I'm not living. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Robert, and his great quotes. Let's see. What else do we got? Joe from Florida. What's up, my man? Thanks for being here. Let's see. He says, if we are in talks with the Galactic Federation, we must be at the token planet that everybody laughs about. Yeah, that could be. We'll talk about that, too, actually. Geez. Let's see. What else do we got? Who else? Let's see. Who else am I missing? Let's see. Larry, we got Joe. Tim. What's up, Tim? Thanks for being here tonight. All right, over to YouTube and everywhere else. All right, so okay, so now do quick shout-outs here. Eli gets first on YouTube. We got Ryan. How you doing? Hello from Eastern Kentucky. We got Super Vike, the thumbs down captain from the Igloo. We got Noble Kal-El on YouTube. Thanks for being here. Says loves the tunes. Axel on YouTube as well. What's up, Mr. Twitter? We got Penny Bunny, the Curious Bunny. Follow the Curious Bunny on YouTube, guys. Please do. Good stuff over there. Many subjects answered. Thanks for being here tonight. That's on YouTube. We got who else do we got? Let's see. We got who else? Paul from Newcastle. How you doing? And I think that sums it up. All right, so we'll have people fashionably late per usual, so it's okay. We'll shout them out as we go. All right, so let me explain what's going on here with the format change of this show. So I think going forward, we're going to just skip the news, and we're not going to do news on this show anymore. It's interesting, it's fun, and there's a place for that. It just seems that putting out a podcast with that could be out there for forever, right? Like you put it out and people could listen to it 3 years later, and it starts with an hour of old news. Nothing to turn people off faster than that. And they're like, "What the hell? I'm listening to this for the reptiles, and they're talking about the election from 2020. This is bullshit." Right?
That's a good. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense. So we're going to cut the news. So that's the bad news. So the show's maybe a little bit shorter, unless you guys are engaged in calling and stuff. Then we'll just keep it the regular length. That's fine. But the good news about that is, so we're cutting the news, but what I'm going to start doing instead is I'm going to stream 5 days a week on Twitch. It's exclusively on Twitch to do the news show, and then rip that to its own news podcast. So we're gonna break it up and do a couple different podcasts, a couple different formats. Yeah, that's what's going on. So we'll probably start Sunday with a news show. It'll be like a afternoon type thing, maybe 4 p.m. Pacific, something like that. I haven't decided the exact time, but maybe go for an hour and a half, and then that way we can kind of keep that as a news thing separately, rip it to its own podcast and have it be its own thing, and then we can just go straight to the aliens or straight to the ghosts or whatever we're going to talk about here. So 2 different things going on, lots of good shit. So so that's what we're going to do. It just makes more sense, a little easier than trying to cut everything up. So so the good news there is there's going to be a ton more content, so you'll be able to actually join me over on Twitch, and there's a few reasons for that. And first being that Twitch can easily be monetized now, which I didn't realize was a thing. And thanks, shout out again to Arc Platinum, who pointed this out to me. But if you have a Amazon Prime account, you can sub to Twitch and basically send money to me, a few bucks. It's only $2.50 per month, but it doesn't cost you anything if you've already paid for Amazon Prime. So there's a process to that. So it's like free money, right? It's just basically free money to support your favorite streamers and your favorite shows. So, but the only catch is, to do it on Twitch, you have to stream exclusively on Twitch and give them that 24-hour window. So, so I can't. So we've cut out Twitch tonight. We're not doing restream on Twitch because I don't want to get banned over there. But anyway, just letting you know that's what's going on. So we'll do the news on 5 days a week, rip to a podcast, and there'll be current events and the normal stuff we talk about. But tonight we're going to go straight to aliens. Straight to aliens.
Well, just a comment on that is that I think that Mike and I talked about this a while ago, and there's this kind of uncomfortableness to kind of solicit for donations and things like that. But at the end of the day, like, and I didn't quite know this at the time. This takes a lot of work, guys. I mean, we have to constantly. Mike's here, twice a week, almost every week, and he's ramping up, and so even more than me. But it takes a lot of time to just stay up to date on everything. Research it, put things together, cut things up. So it's a lot of work. And, to be frank, it could be spent on other things, right? And so those donations, all those things really help. It helps free us up from having to worry about other things, right? So that we can kind of focus on this. And that's kind of the goal, is that we can kind of be like pseudo experts. I guess just be kind of like, we can be in the trenches kind of reporting to you. We're just 2 a-holes on the internet, but God, we do a better job than mainstream media, at least, right? So I have my own channel, Ash Reptilian from Mars, and then this is Troubled Minds, and it, like I said, the content here is it's really fantastic. The audience is really awesome. And so those donations, those little things really help things kind of keep going. And per Mike's instincts, that whole Twitch thing is free to you guys. So, I mean, it's how good of a guy Mike is. He's trying to,
it's hard to beat free money, right? It's free money. So, like, again, if you've already paid for it, it's like an additional bonus that you guys didn't know about. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that too much. I'll talk about it like crazy on the Twitch channel and plug it like hell over there. So the good news is you will get more content. You just got to go find it over on Twitch. So if you have not joined the Twitch, please do that, and we'll be streaming on there Sunday. So I will do the same thing. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, please do. Speaking of the Discord, join it, and I'll send out a notification when I go live on Twitch as well. So you guys will, if you join the Discord, you will always be in the know, and we won't leave you behind. So just again, too much housekeeping here. So, but it's important to let you know what's going on. That's why we're doing it. It makes sense. And think about it this way: there's 112 million Prime accounts in the United States, right? And they're willing to pay $2.50 to your favorite streamer for every Prime account, right? So that's what's 112 million times $2.50. That's a lot of damn money dangling out there that's not being used.
That's a lot of goats, man.
That's a lot of goats.
Oh, man, I could get so many goats.
That's a whole space cruiser full of goats, isn't it? I think so. Anyway, there you go.
Build a new goat ship.
New goat, exactly. A bigger goat ship. But anyway, that's what's going on. So just to explain, and again, I will continue to explain that as we go, and all the other stuff. So okay, so the other good news is that we're just going to go live here and do what we do, and we're taking calls. This is still live. This is still Friday night. This is still Troubled Minds at 702-957-1037. We're taking phone calls. That's a Las Vegas area code. You can join the Discord, be on the show that way. If you want to find the Discord link and join it, please go to troubledminds.org. That's the official website, and you can lots of smart people in there sharing good information all the time, and you'll never miss a notification if you join the Twitch, because I notify every time we go live, and you'll get it right away. So there you go. So just a heads up, that's what's happening. But we still are live taking calls and Discord and all the rest of that. And with that said, we don't have news tonight, because that'll be for the news show. So yeah. Let's. Well,
actually, Mike, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to do news. You know what? I'm doing news right now.
Oh, dear Lord.
I found an article. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. Wow.
All right, that's a good one.
Article,
let's go with that. That's a pretty interesting article. And this is by the Jerusalem Post, right? So we're going to read this entire thing because this is where this information came from, all right? It's only a couple 3-minute
Well, actually, I have one on.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
Just to validate, before we get into it, just to kind of put a little background, this is everywhere. I'm looking at an article on NBC News. Sorry, I had to click this thing. It's on NBC News. I think it was on the New York Times, J-Post. I mean, there's a lot. This is really mainstream. So this isn't this is kind of like up there with the gun camera footage. So this is not like, a lot of times you'll see a thing that's so interesting. This is officially this is big news. So, and this, from what I've seen on all the different communities and stuff, is pretty mainstream, and it's definitely moving the bar forward. So, really interesting stuff.
We'll just say kicking the ball forward. Yes, got a few more shout outs. We got let's see. I said Tim, what's up, Ronald? Says what about a Stargate? That's a good question. Joanne, thanks for being here tonight. We got Matthew. There's a few sources. Let's see. Joe says Epstein must have said to that Israeli said, wait, what? wait. Okay, anyway. Call and tell me the joke. I missed the joke. All right, let's see. Joe says, Twitch is great. I run it every day with DJs and have some subscriptions. Yep, pretty good stuff. It's changed a lot. I used to stream a few years back, but it's changed a lot, and they've actually added a lot of cool new features. Anyway, all right, so Jerusalem Post now. Now, this guy, we talked about this just a little bit in the last show, right? With the wisdom of the crowd, right? Talking about why this may or may not be a thing. Well, now we're going to go into it and some of the information that maybe sticks, right? And maybe kind of corroborates some wild stories of the past, or maybe Alex Jones talking about it tonight. Who knows, right? There's a ton of information here, and so let's get rolling. You want to read some of this? You want me to read this? What do you think, Ash?
Yeah, why don't you? Go ahead.
All right,
take it away.
Okay, headline is this. Former Israeli space security chief says aliens exist. Humanity not ready. So this Galactic Federation has supposedly been in contact with Israel and the U.S. for years, but are keeping themselves a secret to prevent hysteria until humanity is ready. All right, so has the state of Israel made contact with aliens? This article starts, according to the retired Israeli officer and current professor Haim Eshed, the answer is yes. but this has been kept a secret because humanity isn't ready. Speaking in an interview, Eshed, who served as the head of Israel's space program for nearly 30 years and is a 3-time recipient of the Israel Security Award, explained that Israel and the U.S. have both been dealing with aliens for years. And this by no means refers to immigrants, with Eshed clarifying the existence of a Galactic Federation. The 87-year-old former head of the Defense Ministry's Space Division gave further descriptions about exactly what sort of agreements have been made between the aliens and the United States, which ostensibly have been made because they wish to research and understand the fabric of the universe. This cooperation includes a secret underground base on Mars, where there are American and alien representatives. If true, this would coincide with U.S. President Donald Trump's creation of the Space Force as the 5th branch of the U.S. Armed Forces, though it is unclear how long this sort of relationship, if any, has been going on between the U.S. and its reported extraterrestrial allies. But this individual, Eshed, insists that Trump is aware of them and that he was on the verge of disclosing their existence. That's been a rumor, eh? So it continues, almost done here. However, the Galactic Federation reportedly stopped him from doing so, saying they wished to prevent mass hysteria since they felt humanity needed to evolve and reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are, which was reported in the interview. All right, so there's a little bit more to read. So go ahead now. Let's do that first chunk, and then we'll do the last chunk here. Well, so far so good. What do you think about that, Ash? What's the hot take?
Oh, that's a pretty that's a pretty impactful thing. You know, there's an obvious connection that Mike, you and I know about, and we'll kind of talk about that later. A little synchronicity. You know, Mike's pretty skeptical, but actually, it did out too, and we both got weirded out by something that mentioned literally the Galactic Federation of Worlds like 2 weeks before this. And then this is like literally spot on with that. So that's the remote viewing guys. I know I keep bringing them up, but they just keep weirding me the hell out. So we'll get to that later. But what's interesting about this is, you know, with all the turmoil going on in 2020 and with the Tom DeLonge thing, this narrative that's starting to develop, all the kind of pieces are starting to fall into place. There's lots of propaganda and there's lots of like, what to believe, you don't know. Bob Lazar, there's all this stuff going on. It's like, what do you believe? But if you look at our elites, they're acting freaking weird. They're definitely like meeting behind closed doors and like they have like plans. And I wonder, have the elites, have they gotten a list of demands from these beings? You know, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, are we in it? Are we not in it? Like, is this real? And if it is, like, are we trying to get into it? And maybe the elites are getting this laundry list of demands, like depopulate the world, or you need to have more control, centralized government, you can't have guns. Like a lot of the elites' behavior right now is almost like desperate and erratic. So maybe there is this top-down structure, maybe this relationship that's kind of dictating to us. And maybe it's benevolent, maybe it's malevolent. But you know, if humans are executing the plan, you know, it's going to be flawed. So, we're seeing that, like 2020 lockdowns. Like, what the hell? Like, people are starting to wake up to these lockdowns. Like, if it didn't work the first time, if the lockdowns work, you wouldn't need a second.
Wait. That's too much common sense. What are you talking about? Or if all the lockdowns work, then we would have beat this already, and the second surge wouldn't have happened, and the mask. Anyway, whatever. Like, we're not going to get into that too much, but holy shit, common sense.
It's a little political. It did become political, but I think it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, like, where's the science behind this? Like, and it just seems like the elites are like they're like, dude, we got to get in this federation. Fuck it. Just do it. So they're just slamming through whatever it is. So maybe this explains what that is. So that's kind of like the thing I wanted to point out. Maybe they're the one dictating policy, or maybe, and we'll talk about this later, maybe there are multiple factions, and this is one of them. and they're in cahoots with different factions on Earth, trying to push their own agendas. And right now, the window is closing on who gets to run shit on Earth, right? Like who gets connected, or maybe someone's getting it's upheaval. But yeah, it's interesting. What do you think about that? The elites being cahoots with these. I mean, because we had that leaked Podesta emails, remember? And they were like our extra-dimensional friends, like talking about like nonchalant.
I do. I remember that, and not only that. I think there was some mention in the Hillary emails, and there's been leaks. There's that Paul Heller that worked for the Canadian Defense Ministry. Like there's a lot of people that have worked. Nick Pope, actually, he's one that worked for the United Kingdom in some high capacity there in the UFO program. I guess he's like the equivalent of the United Kingdom version of Lou Elizondo, right? He supposedly worked in the UFO Bureau or whatever the hell they called it over there. So I mean, like, there's a lot of folks that claim to have been insiders that are coming out with this information, and if that's the case, then yeah, of course, right? I think the same. You would expect, at least I would expect, the same deep state that runs everything else, right? The shadowy X-Files group that gets together in the dark and smokes cigars, right? Like that, whoever, the George Soros and the Bill Gates and these guys that rub the elbows and basically run the world, the Zuckerbergs of the world, the Bilderbergs, basically. And Bohemian Grove, all that, right? Like it's you would expect that they had a hand in assuming aliens had contacted us, that those were the individuals, at least through proxies of some sort, would have contact with the aliens. And so, yeah, that doesn't surprise me a bit. Like that, it's an illusion that the government really runs anything. It's the money behind it, and I think it would probably be the same thing with the aliens. Not that the aliens take Chinese currency or anything, but more that they would interact with who we wanted them to interact with, and of course that would be whoever runs the money. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me a bit. And as far as the elite and the chaos, I mean, yeah, and 2020 has been something else. I guess we can just say that and leave it at that. We got a few,
brother.
Yeah, a lot of good chat to read here, but yeah. So that's just a quick take on that, and I think you're right. So let me read the rest of this article, unless you have anything to add, Ash.
No, I mean, yeah, some of the comments brought up like Trump and the Space Force. They touched on that, and I consider the elites just like the people who are in the know and are working together, and they're not all like meeting in one freaking room and like doing speeches. I mean, maybe they are. God, hell if we know, but we're not in that inside club. I was listening to Alex Jones, and his father was in the inside club. And he was saying some crazy shit. And like, dude, when you're in the club, and we'll get to some of his clips, it was crazy what he was saying. They were like, "Oh, his dad got in the club, literally like the club. I'm talking about the elites, and that they're like, oh, we know your father." And so they're showing him like clone cows like 30 years ago, psyop stuff. Like, it's just like you're in the club. So you get to like know all this stuff. So, I mean, at some point, if they're talking to goddamn aliens, that's going to get around. I mean, in one form or another, whether it becomes it becomes like a religious thing, or who knows. But it just seems like it would get around in the club, and that's a good way to get everyone on board. Hey, do you want to join the Galactic Federation of Worlds? You want to hang out with reptilians? Do you want to be on a spaceship? All right, shoot these guys right here, or do this, or and that's kind of like my thing. It's like, we're not in on the conversation, and the government, if this is true, I'm actually getting a little upset right here, because like, if the government's freaking communicating with these aliens, what would you say, the wisdom of the crowd, right?
Wisdom of the crowd.
There's a lot of different perspectives in the population, and then in culture we come to conclusion, right, through books, media, whatever. These people are like, if this is true, are talking to these aliens, and who the hell knows that the aliens are good, benevolent, bad, what they're deciding, whether they're like just sacrificing us to get like technology. We're not in on these conversations, so that wisdom of the crowd is very small. And so it's like, we need to open this conversation up for all of us, right? And so good on this guy for, if this is true, right, coming out and saying it. So
Yeah. I think that's the thing, right? Everybody realizes we drink a hefty dose of the maybe juice here. And so we suspend our disbelief and talk about this as if it were real and what the implications might be. But then we also got some stuff on the back end here. We'll all talk about where he came from and maybe what he's trying to sell. Maybe he's got some snake oil to sell too. So yeah, anyway, so the former Israeli space security chief, again, his name is Haim Eshed. So there we go. Let's read the second half of this article, and then we'll keep on moving here. Tons of good clips to play and tons of good stuff to look at. Okay, so here we go. As for why he's chosen to reveal this information now, Eshed explained that the timing was simply due to how much the academic landscape has changed and how he respected he is in academia. If I had come up with what I'm saying 5 years ago, I would have been hospitalized, he explained. He added that, quote, today, they're already talking differently. I have nothing to lose. I've already received my degrees and awards. I am respected in universities abroad, where the trend is also changing. Eshed provided more information in his newest book, The Universe Beyond the Horizon, Conversations with Professor Haim Eshed, along with other details about such as how aliens have prevented nuclear apocalypses and when we can jump in and visit the Men in Black. Now, the book is available now for NIS 98. I'm not sure, is that Israeli dollars? I don't know what that is. While it is unclear if any evidence exists that could support Eshed's claims, they did come just ahead of the recent announcement by Space IL, the group behind Israel's failed attempt to land a spacecraft on the moon in 2019. You guys remember that? They lost track of the spacecraft that launched from Israel, and then they reconnected with it, and they were like, "Oh shit, good, we found it." Then they tried to land it on the moon, but they crash landed it. So it was kind of a dumpster fire the entire time. At least it got out of the atmosphere, so that's, I guess that's a step in the right direction. Okay, so anyway, a couple more paragraphs were done. Uploaded to social media with the text, "Ready to get excited again?" The announcement contained a 15-second video of the moon with text saying "Back to the Moon," followed by the date of December 9th, 2020. It is likely this is a follow-up to the Bereshit spacecraft, which crashed after engineers lost contact with it just minutes before it was due to land. However, the follow-up project titled Bereshit 2 is expected to take 3 years to be ready. So, yeah, so is this Israeli propaganda for their space program, or there you go. Yeah, a lot here. There's a lot here. Like it's interesting that one little article can spawn so much conversation and kind of take charge of social media and humanity and the imagination for so long. It's only been this is December 10th when this came out, but it's all over the place. Everybody's talking about this stuff. Crazy.
Crazy stuff. I mean, you have the military coming out with those UFO videos, and that kind of push. It's like if we're having a conversation, if I bring up aliens with random people, and be like, "Cool, bro," but it's like, no. What did you think about those fucking UFO videos that came out from like the Pentagon? And be like, oh well, because people don't want to be in crazy town. The CIA or whoever it was has done a really good job of making this kind of weird subject to talk about. But those videos kind of pushed it, and then it kind of settled. But we settled on a new level, right? There's UFOs. Like, is that the government or is that aliens? And then I've seen the conversations on Joe Rogan, all these different places. People are ready for them aliens, and then Area 51 storming and all that stuff. So now you have like a high-ranking official talking about it. So actually, Elonzo, what's the guy's name?
Lou Elizondo.
Something. Luis Elizondo. He just did an interview and he just talked about this. We have a clip about that. Did you want to go to that next?
Yeah, let's play it. Let's start there. Hold on. Let me find this. Where's the guy? Not Alex Jones. Lou. Yeah, Lou. Here we go. Let's actually hold on. Let's play the clip that the news clip first, and then we'll go straight to this Lou Elizondo. Let's start here. This is where I think this is reported by NBC News, and they're going to talk about exactly what we just said. But it's important to listen to this because listen to how they cover it, right? Like you can, like I always say, you can read between the lines on what they're saying and what they're not saying. So let's listen close and maybe derive if this is clickbait or if they take this seriously or what the hell's really going on. So let's just play this real fast. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll.
All right, here we go. This one's short, like a minute and a half. So play this, and then we'll keep on trucking. All right, so this is the story as reported by NBC News, I believe it is. Here we go, action.
Aliens exist, and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains this one.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years. Chaim Eshed is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years, not immigrants, but extraterrestrials. He has called them the Galactic Federation of aliens, and he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria. Well, the retired general says the US and Israel have kept it from the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is. Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives. Now, this former head of a branch of Israel's defense ministry is 87. He was very well respected, at least until now. And he said all this in an interview with an Israeli newspaper in Hebrew, but it's really taken off after parts of it were published in English by the Jerusalem Post today. He says he's come forward now in the hope that his news will be accepted as true. He notes that if he'd made these claims 5 years ago, he would have been hospitalized, but now he says, I've got nothing to lose. Well, so far, President Trump has not tweeted about this, though remember a year ago, he did set up the Space Force as the fifth branch of the U.S. Armed Forces.
There we go. That's just mainstream reporting for you. Mainstream media, right? We all know them. We all hate them. And that's what they are. That's just what they are. A couple quick shout outs and we'll take your hot take, Ash. Let's see. What's up, Kelly? Who else? We got Kelly, we got Sean, we got people showing up fashionably late. What's up, Melvin? What's good, buddy? We got, let's see. Who else? I saw some faces. Ronald, Brian, Matt says space equals Biden. I don't want to go there, but okay, that was funny. Let's see.
What the hell?
I don't know. I mean, I know, but I don't know. My good Russian friend on YouTube. What's up? He says this channel deserves so much more attention. It's surreal and mental. Haha. There you go. I'll take the mental.
I disagree.
Compliment. I disagree.
This channel sucks.
This channel sucks. Totally. Don't tell your friends about this channel. We don't want this to get big. Yeah, it's a secret.
Last thing we want.
It's a secret. All right. Let's see. A couple more good comments here. Robert says, "I won't believe there's an underground base on Mars until Ash confirms it." Well, there you go. There you go, buddy.
Yeah, well, where is this going? I think it's on the other side, guys. It's such a long walk. I know it's not a big planet, but it's still, big for one being.
One lizard.
I kind of feel like I hear stuff going on. Like when you're like, feel like you hear construction in the distance. I swear, maybe it's on the other side.
Maybe Mars is haunted, and you're hearing the ghost of aliens past. Who knows? Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying. That sounds like that'd be a good movie. We get to Mars, and then it's like there's like alien reptilian ghosts or something like that. I think that is a movie. I'm gonna look that up. Go ahead.
No, okay. All right. So there we go. Noble Kal-El on YouTube says, there is a few founder spots open on the Twitch side. Join today to secure your founder status. Thank you for the plug. And yes, so there are 4 unique badges left on Twitch. 6 have been taken. There's only 10 total. That's it. So if you want to go do your pledge on Twitch, and it's only $5 a month or free if you're on Amazon Prime. You just got to link your Prime account. There's 4 left. Right? It's a permanent badge you get. There will only be 10 total ever. So there you go. Race to Twitch to get that right now. Yeah, quick before they're no longer available. Only $4.99. Okay. Anyway, that was nice. Thank you, Noble Kello. Let's see.
Nice
Yeah, totally. Sean says, I am with the American Federation of Light Workers. I have contact with the Palladians. Call us, please. 702-957-1037. I'd love to hear this.
Yeah, we'd like to hear from you.
We are live, and we still take calls. Format changed a little bit, but we're still taking phone calls. 702-957-1037. Go to troubledminds.org, click the Discord link, and let us know you're in the caller queue. We'll put you on the show. Easy as that. We're still taking calls. We're still transparent. We're still the most transparent show in the entire game. In the whole game, on the whole internet, the most transparent mofos out there. You know why? Because we're not scared. We're not afraid of trolls. We're not afraid of people challenging what we're talking about, because that's what conversation is about, right? We can agree or disagree, and we can still be friends afterward, and we believe that's an important part of this as an open dialogue. So there we go. Okay, so let's go to Lou Elizondo. You want to explain what's up with that as I cue this up here?
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with this kind of subject, Luis Elizondo, is that how you say it?
Luis.
Lou Elizondo.
That's why people call him Lou, because it's Luis.
Oh, got it. Well, he was the head of a program called ATIP, and he retired from that program and then officially disclosed that to the public. He's been coordinating with Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, random AF, but that's the case, to basically disclose information about the extraterrestrial phenomenon. They posture it as a threat, and so that's kind of like a little shady. But so they've been pushing stuff out there responsible for the gun camera footage that came out. I like him. I like his opinions. Whether he's a tool for the government or some evil, faction or good faction, I don't know. But he himself seems like a good guy. And so he's of the know to some degree. And so, let's hear what he has to say about this. This just came out like yesterday.
Okay.
Or 2 days ago.
Piping hot new stuff. Here we go. Action.
There is an agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens. They signed a contract with...
What the hell is going on with YouTube?
Experiments here. He also claims that the UFOs have asked not to publish that they are here. Humanity is not ready yet. A secret...
I'm going to downgrade the quality. What the hell's going on here?
Try refreshing, because I just put that up, so maybe it was, you know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't done yet or something.
All right, let's find out. Something weird about this. All right, here we go. YouTube's never like this. Right, again, they're on to us, guys. They're on to us. Like I said, don't tell anybody about this show. It's a big secret. Here we go. Action.
There is an agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens. They signed a contract with us to do experiments here. He also claims that the UFOs have asked not to publish that they are here. Humanity is not ready yet. A secret agreement between the U.S. government and aliens who are allegedly hiding because we are not ready yet to cope with their reality. Joining me now is the former head of the Pentagon's UAP research project, ATIP, Luis Elizondo. Welcome to the show, sir.
Robert, thank you for having me. It's my honor and privilege.
Thank you. What is your take on this?
Well, I think we need a lot more information first. I think on one hand, you have a very credible, very respected individual who spent decades in the Israeli Space Administration, really achieving nothing less than the very, very highest position in that organization. So this is an individual who is used to classified programs, running technical operations in orbit around our planet. So on one hand, if there was ever a person that was qualified to make such a statement, it would seem to be someone like him and of his caliber. But of course, in the same respect, my background coming from the intelligence world is extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, right? And these are very bold claims. And I'm not certainly one to throw rocks at anybody, because 3 years ago when I came out with my claims about the program and ATIP and whatnot, people probably reacted very similar, like, what the heck is going on? So, But I got to tell you, when someone says that there's a signed or written contract between the U.S. and quote unquote extraterrestrial life, contracts are kind of a human thing. We sign contracts if we want certain goods and services, or we want to buy a house or something like that.
Okay, let's leave it there, and it's a little bit of a long clip, so we'll continue or listen to that in a sec. Let me just a couple chats here real fast, and then we'll get the Ash hot take from Mars. Let's see. James on Facebook says, so you guys are going to need a backhoe on the road you were walking down. I don't know about that. Hang tight. This is if you're new to this show, you'll see. This is not what you think it is. This is totally not what you think it is. So yeah, Tamron says going to the gun range today. Hey, aim small, miss small. That's what Mel Gibson told me. Make sure you hit the bullseye anyway. That's probably the most important part. Let's see. Philip says, tell the guy to F off saying humankind isn't ready to know. They are here. We are all ready to tell the aliens as well. What's up, Philip? Thanks for being here tonight. Okay. All right. So what's the hot take on that? He said contracts are a human thing. So how could we have signed a contract with aliens at this point so far, right?
Yeah. So real quick, he's one of the most qualified people to make this statement. So that's important coming from him because he's like actually in the government and high up. So that's an important statement to say to back up his credentials. Then he kind of backs up, just trying to be careful not to get a little too excited. But I think he knows. I think he's on board. Now, contracts are human things. I've studied the abduction thing. Alien stuff is weird. And one thing I've realized is that you cannot make an assumption. You don't know what aliens are and what they do. And maybe there seems to be some sort of importance on freedom of choice. You cannot impose on someone else's free will. Whatever government or fundamental belief system or whatever runs this area of the galaxy, there's seems to be like a rule or a law or religious text about that. So, if we have leaders that represent us, and let's say we voted for a super king, president of the United States, and this king of the world could make an agreement with the aliens on all of our behalfs, and that would probably be enough for the law. So could different factions make different agreements with different groups all over the planet and get access to different resources, aka us or water or whatever? So I think that I'm actually really, really tired of that argument where people say well, what are aliens? Why would they be interested in here? It's like you have no context, literally none, to make statements like that. You know nothing about it. Me either. I'm speculating based on the research I've done, but you don't know shit about them, right? So how can you assume to not assume? You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about this the other day. Governments breed corporations. So instead of interacting with alien civilizations, we could be interacting with an alien corporation, right? And that corporation has profit margins or incentives or something. So you don't know, you can't assume. And you should be seeking the truth unbiasedly, and then using that information to come conclusions, but then not being super attached to those conclusions, right? Corey Goods of the world, the David Wilcox, and become religious zealots. You should just be seeking information as if you're an idiot. You should be in idiot mode. You should literally just not assume. And I mean, that argument has really kept us back, in my opinion. It kind of annoys me. So I have nothing against him. I mean, he's sure he can make that argument. That's fine. But I really believe that those kind of beliefs hold us back. Because, I mean, if there are beings, they are aliens, meaning that their behavior, their thoughts, how they do things is alien to us. So we just can't make assumptions like that.
Yeah, I again, that like I said this a lot. We'll continue to say this. You can't anthropomorphize aliens. You just can't do it. Like we try and do it to everything on Earth. We try and do it to the Earth itself, for global warming, like for climate change, right? We try and we put it into the computer models and try and think we know all the things. We don't even know all the things about the human body, and we're humans. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, guys. like stop trying to play God with everything. And so clearly, if we're speculating in the alien realm, things are going to like literally throw us for a loop. But we'll be like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Well, no shit, because they're aliens, right? I mean, I'm willing to accept all kinds of crazy stuff from aliens, Like it said on that interview with Johnny Now on Twitch, he said, could aliens be just a small drop of water? Yeah, and they could also be the entire like dark matter that spans most of the universe. Like we just don't know. Like we have no idea what kind of life is out there, and I think that's that we have to keep an open mind about all of that, and then not try and turn it into human terms. Even though it's difficult because we're humans. But I think that the beauty of being humans is we have the ability, we have a universe inside our brain, right? I think that's the thing. Like there's a universe inside of us. And so we should be able to expand that and accept other things and accept the possibility of other things. So anyway, a couple more shout outs here. We got Alex on Facebook. Thanks for being here. We got Millie. Thanks for showing up. We got, who else? We got, let's see, Brian. Thanks for sharing. We got Rogelio. He says, I know they call God the creator. There you go. Let's see. Who else am I missing? Lee says, love the show. Keep up the good work, guys. Lee from Manchester, England. Thanks for being here tonight. And Axel says, every president since Carter has said they'll tell us if there are aliens, and they always neither confirm or deny. And there's probably a reason for that, isn't there? That's my point. And so a lot of these disclosure advocates are from the government. Okay. So, there's some dissonance there in my brain where I'm like, oh, okay. So once the CIA comes out and says, oh, aliens are real, we're supposed to believe that shit from the CIA? Okay. All right. Get right on that. Mm-hmm. Get right on that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, okay. So anyway, let's go back to this. This article or the interview. Unless you have anything else to add to this, Mr. Ash, the Reptilian from Mars.
No, I think that's it.
Okay, let's play a couple more minutes from the Lou Elizondo interview. This is from the Galactic Federation of Worlds, what he's talking about in exomagazine.tv. Action.
Like that. I'm not sure that if there is a very sophisticated, let's say, alien life form out in our universe, that they necessarily would oblige to contractual agreements like we do as human beings. That seems to be more of a human type mechanism, frankly. Again, not really knowing what this individual knows. For me, I think it's certainly a fantastical claim that we should probably try to find out more information about. But also, I will say, in reality, if you have a president like our current president Trump right now with information about something like this that can affect humanity, when you look at this from a practical perspective, right? This is a president who is in the throes of trying to, if you will, protest the recent election results, and is trying to find any type of mechanism to challenge the results. One would think that this would certainly be at the very top of the list if such a contract did exist between our government and an extraterrestrial life form, would be used to inform the people of the world. Right? This is a really big deal. It's for me. I'm not qualified to answer on behalf of this individual, this highly respected individual from Israel. I will tell you that the Israeli military is extremely capable. The Israeli government is extremely sophisticated. So in many cases, they have just the same type of technology and capabilities we have. So I wouldn't want to diminish his claims saying that, this is not real.
Okay, there we go. That's part 2 of that. We'll play part 3 in a sec. So, hot takes on that. I thought we were going to hear Lou Elizondo say "Orange Man bad." I was like, "Holy shit! How did we get here?" But he almost jumped up that cliff, and he didn't. I'm so numb to it these days. Orange Man bad.
I thought Orange Man bad too. I think I wasn't sure if he was going to go Orange Man bad or he was literally just trying to like egg on disclosure. And not to get political, but we all know like Trump is a narcissist. That's not political. Whether you like him or you hate him, that is true. So I wonder if people manipulate him to try and get results out of him by just, hey man, you could be the first person to talk about aliens. Because when he went to North Korea, I know there was like pros and cons to talking to North Korea, but he was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. It's going to make me look good. So same thing with this is like, would Trump want to be the person, whether he's in or out, now's a good time for it. Would he want to be the person to disclose aliens, be the president in the history books? And it's like a giant FU to a lot of people, I imagine. So, yeah, I mean, I heard someone said the most unbelievable part of that article is that Trump knew about aliens and he didn't say anything. Not that there's aliens, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, we have contracts, none of that. Is that Trump didn't say anything. So anyway, you guys see how you can walk that line. We can all have a conversation.
Yeah, it's not, again, it was just interesting that like he brought it up like it was like, wait, what? I mean, whatever. I'm believing. I mean, I saw some funny stuff, but regarding that, but whatever. Okay, anyway, so let's finish the rest of this and see what Lou Elizondo has to say, and let's finish this off. There's another minute and a half, and from this interview, exomagazine.tv, and Lou Elizondo talking about the Galactic Federation of Worlds. So here we go. Action.
But you need to have some evidence, just like us with ATIP. We had to have videos. We had to have Senator Reid. We had to have documentations and memorandums, official memorandums being released to the public that they could see for themselves and say, yeah, this is a legitimate effort and this is real. I think that's where we're at right now. I think a lot of people are ready to believe, but we collectively need to see more evidence. If someone wants us to take that leap of faith, then I think we need to have the empirical data to back up those claims and those statements.
So you never heard of any secret agreement between your government and some alleged space aliens during your career as the ATIP boss?
There was always this lore, this myth that would circulate sometimes. And every so often you'd hear something, hey, did we have an agreement with some other type of life form? To my knowledge, I was never made aware of that. I was never privy to that. We did have access to a lot of different organizations in the United States government, and not at one time was I provided definitive proof that there was some sort of official agreement between some other life form and us here on Earth.
Okay, and if there was, would you tell us? Right? Again, like people from the government. I've actually talked to people that believe that Lou Elizondo is completely legit. They've worked in different capacities in the government, and they say that no, he knows what he's talking about, and this is completely real. And at least the things he says is he can back up. Like there's some people that hold him in very high esteem, but I have a hard time with the entire organization of TTSA and the whole bit. Just because of the CIA connections and the government, right. Like if the government wanted to disclose shit, they could literally just drop a dossier tomorrow, right? The 7,000 pages of the Pleiadians and their connections from however many years ago, but they ain't trying to do that, and it's not coming. It's not coming anytime soon. So
right. Just drop a goddamn picture of an alien. Be done with it. Boom.
Exactly.
Hey,
yeah.
This is Bleep Blop 4. What's up? All right, done. We're done. Hey, thanks everyone. Have a good night. Literally do nothing else.
That's it. Done. Exactly. And then let the media freak out and do their thing.
And that's your point, is like, even if these guys are like not complacent in a malicious, disinforming way, it doesn't mean they just don't know, right? They're being fed information one way or another. So, all right. Well, so it looks like the chat is getting a little restless. They don't want this mainstream bullshit. And I guys, I hear you. And I apologize that we started with this. Honestly, I really do, because we have such good stuff right now. Okay, so we have the remote viewing hot take, which is really exciting. Let's do that next. We also have Alex Jones clips and some other stuff to talk about related to this.
We got all kinds of shit.
Good stuff. So let's get rid of this bullshit. Let's get rid of this mainstream stuff. We're done with that. It's fun time. Let's get crazy. Let's go out in the left field. We have some synchronicities. We have some really interesting stuff. And so Sherry actually made a comment, and I kind of like put it back here. The council is made of several different species. And yes, and I've heard that too. And if you look at Stargate and all the kind of like this narrative that we're talking about tonight has popped up so many times in culture, movies, and whether it's like, you know, a comment, the wisdom of the crowd, or CIA kind of pushing it out there. This narrative that there's been this group of aliens that we kind of work with, we coordinate with, we communicate with, and they're kind of like the good guys, right? And Michael, what was that book that we looked at? Do you remember that book we did a show on? A Russian book or something like that?
Yeah, there's like a Russian book of aliens. Actually, I got a better one here. So there's a Russian book of aliens where they talked about like dozens and dozens of alien races. Supposedly, it was a little bit sketchy in my opinion, but they said it came from a sketchy source and whatever, so on and so forth. But I've got another source that actually claims there are four or more alien races here on Earth. You want to hear a couple of quick clips of that, and then we'll get to the rest of this. This is off the rails. This is not mainstream, so we're right in your territory, buddy.
Yeah, but before that, so to kind of tease people, to keep everyone on board here as we get through, the thing I'm most excited about is the remote viewing guys talked about the Galactic Federation of Worlds and might literally have the narrative. I don't know the percentage, but we'll get to that. They might have the actual narrative, and we're going to go into it. And it might be the nail in the head. Seriously, it might be like because they have their own data set, whatever. And so I talked about that. I was really excited about that. I heard about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I told that story on Twitch today. I was like, Ash was talking about this at least 10 days ago. Yeah, I told the story.
Before the article even came out.
I shot you down. I shot you down. I was like, we ain't doing that. We always talk about that. We ain't doing that. And then the whole world's talking about it.
Got him. I was like, Mike, this is getting a lot of traction, man. And this is kind of crazy. And usually you're pretty skeptical, on which I like. I like that you're kind of a rock, keeps me kind of anchored. You're like, that is kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
You know, literally 10 days ago. And one of the things that they talked about is they were pushing their audience to reach out to the Galactic Federation of Worlds 10 days ago and reach out to them and get them to intervene in human affairs and communicate with us. And then freaking 10 days later, that Israeli scientist or security officer came out. How weird is that? That's
a little bit weird. That's a little weird. Yeah. So there's some really synchronistic information from Courtney Brown and the Farsight Institute, the Farsight organization, whatever it's called, farsight.org. So we're going to get to that in just a sec. But hold on. So with what Sherry said and the alien races, as always, I have a ton of information here, so the conversation can kind of go it's like Plinko. It's like, remember that game in the game show? You put the little thing in the top and it just kind of goes clank, 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 clank. Well, I just happen to have this pulled up. There's an individual named Paul Hellyer, and he says, Earth-shaking confession, 4 alien races are here on Earth, okay? And so Paul Hellyer was a former well-regarded Canadian defense minister for 30-plus years. He came out and said this stuff a long time ago, not, maybe like 10 years ago or something like this. But and actually a weird synchronistic thing about that is I had that interview on Twitch with Johnny Now, if you guys saw that one, and he said that he knows the nephew of this guy, Paul Hellyer, which is like a really weird... Anyway, so Paul Hellyer says at least 4 alien races here on Earth. I got 2 clips where Paul Hellyer is talking about the Galactic Federation. Let's hear what he has to say. This is brand new from a couple days ago. Action.
I phoned my nephew and said... give me the general's telephone number and give him a heads up that I'll be calling, because I thought I should check with him personally and hear his voice and what he had to say. And I had met him, so I knew who it was. And so I phoned him, and before I could even say, hello, how are you, what's the weather like, he said, every word is true and more. Those were his opening words. And he spent 20 minutes telling me the and more, within the limit of his oath. I guess it went as far as he could. And he said, and this was the most important thing he said during that period, was that there have been face-to-face meetings between United States officials and visitors from other star systems, period. No equivocation. And so with that assurance, and my own conviction based on what I already knew, I said, I'll go to the meeting. And at the meeting, I said that UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying overhead. And that was it.
UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying overhead. Now, hold on real quick. So this is a guy that actually said 4 alien races exist. He worked as a Canadian defense minister, and he's stuck to his guns over 10 years, as far as I'm aware. Part 2 of this, and then we'll get to Courtney Brown and remote viewing right after this. Paul Hellyer talking about at least 4 alien races here on Earth, and he's making a connection here to the Galactic Federation, which is the topic tonight. Part 2 action.
Well, I only know about the Galactic Federation, and I don't know much about it, so I shouldn't talk about it. But they are concerned about what's going on in the world, and they have been working through individuals. They'll pick out a few individuals and visit them or talk to them telepathically or send information to them by channeling. I have a very close friend who is writing his second book right now with channeling from a species called the Basidas. Very few people have heard of it. They have a deal that they won't interfere. But I think that there's also a loophole if things get bad enough that they would make exceptions. But we can't count on them. I mean, maybe we can count on them, but we shouldn't count on them because they say, you clean up your act. You're in charge. It's your planet. And if it comes to a dead end, it will be because you let it or made it a dead end. Because it wasn't necessary and you had everything going. It's one of the best planets in the whole universe. And everybody covets the fact that it's so good. And you have been destroying it. And this is something that we've tried to let you know by various ways over a long period. The individual communications always say, look, there are things you've got to do. Stop your clear cutting, stop your fracking, stop using fossil fuels, because there are better ways.
Okay, there we go. So he got cut off and he started talking about some other stuff. But again, that was Paul Hellyer, Canadian defense minister for many, many years. He claims there's 4 alien races in existence currently and that we have contact with them. And now the Galactic Federation thing comes out with that the Israeli professor there that worked in as their, what was it? What did he work for? Hold on. Let me get you the exact term here because I forget. He worked as a Israeli space security chief. So if anybody would know, he would know, right? Okay, so a couple more shout-outs to Wizard Grin. I see you on YouTube there. Pretty good comments. We'll add those in and read them in a sec. Who else do we got? Brian, Eric, we got Sean, we got... okay, there we go. All right, I think we're caught up. Anyway, Ash, what's on your mind, my man?
Wow, I mean, it's kind of crazy to go back and see the breadcrumbs. Because, like, you go back, you go through all this content, right? And you're like, what the fuck is true and what isn't? And there's stuff that directly conflicts each other. So we're coming in with this narrative, right? That there's this Galactic Federation. So then you kind of look through history for that keyword. And it seems like that narrative is a narrative. Like, it's pretty solid. Honoring, these are all things I've heard. They honor our free will. Like, they don't want to intervene. They want us to do it ourselves. That they're like treat hugging hippies. I heard that they're the biggest. They make what was the quote? And I forget where it's from. They make like God, what do you call it? The organizations for taking care of the planet and stuff. Like the green organizations. They make them look like Boy Scouts. Apparently, they're really huge into like taking care of our planet and bio conservation. Man, the words are tough. They don't want to intervene. And then we've heard about the 4 alien races before, and that comes up a lot. We were just talking about that. So I don't know, man. Like if I had to put money on it, at least 51%. Right? If I had to put money on it, if someone put a gun to my head, I'd be like, sure, that one. You know what I'm saying?
All right, that's fair. Wait. So 51%. Those odds aren't great, though. That's still we're flipping coins here. We're flipping coins.
Oh, it's higher than that. I'm just trying not to sound
crazy.
Right. Okay, it's way higher than that. All right. It's like I'm just trying to be reasonable, which is
fair enough. You don't want me to kick you off the show. Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
I'm trying to look like I'm a sane person, on the DL. Joe Rogan does that a lot, actually. He'd be like, Joe Rogan's the master of this. You ever notice that? He's like, yeah, have you heard about that 4 alien thing? Who was talking about that? It's like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
And he's like, who was talking about that? And they're like, oh, Zachariah Sitchin or something like that. He's like, yeah. And then he goes on for like 20 minutes straight about all the information. It's like, dude, you knew that. You're just downplaying it. So anyway, I stole that from Joe Rogan. Seems like the thing to do.
Well, I mean, I think, when you have so many different types of conversations, I think, given that whatever you want to call it, a platform or whatever it is, right? Like you get people listening. You can't be so emphatic about everything all the time. I think you have to have an open mind and kind of take everything as true and then discuss it as such, so and play a little dumb if you have to. It's just part of the conversation, like I could be a militant asshole and just be like, no, none of this is real. No, but that's just no fun, right? Like it doesn't add anything to anybody. And we're all just, thinking I'm an asshole. Well, which is partly true, but it's, the other stuff might be true too. So it's worth talking.
I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that wouldn't either. It's fine. It's okay. We poke fun at ourselves, but no, but that's the point, right? So a lot of great comments, a lot of engagement tonight. I appreciate all the good comments, guys. Keep them coming. Okay, but now this was the weird synchronicity again. I told the story on Twitch today. I did like a quick test stream on Twitch to make sure everything worked, did my new overlays and stuff. And I was telling the story. So about 10 days ago, 11, 12 days, something like that. You were spamming me on Twitch, on Discord. Hey, this thing, like the remote viewers that they're talking about this. They've made contact. The governments have made contact. Humanity's made contact, and we're supposed to be some sort of one world government before they care, right? We're supposed to be like the New World Order or some shit. And I was like, really, Ash? Again, man? Are we doing this again? and then several days, like a week later.
Yes, again, goddamn it.
Damn it again. Me. And then a week later.
Keep me down, Mike.
A week later, this article comes out from Haim Eshed talking about exactly the same thing. They were, the Israeli government, the United States government are in contact with extraterrestrials, and we're not allowed to disclose them yet because we're not ready. We are not ready. So anyway, go ahead and let's talk about Courtney Brown, the Far Side, and what kind of let us hear.
Well, let's can I do a few comments?
Of course, of course.
Yes. So there were some really good comments. So I'm gonna try and blaze through this. So I'm gonna do this like an auctioneer speed. James R. Miller. James. He said the 7 tribes of Israel. It is in the history. Actually, I was going to gloss over this real quick. The Jewish connection is that they were God's chosen people, and I can't remember all the sources for this, guys. So just it's out there on the internet somewhere, and I like I say about everything, I don't know if it's true or not. But supposedly they were God's chosen people. No, this is actually in the Jewish dialect. This is in their text. Is that God looked into the future with all the different races and to see which one would turn out the best. And the Jewish people seem to be the best. And so that the future was the least shitty, I guess, or at least aligned with what God wanted, right? And
it's like that scene in you guys seen that with Thanos, the Infinity War, where Doctor Strange does that weird thing where he's like simulating with the time stone the future, like 10 million futures to see which one actually works, kind of like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And there was only one.
There's only one.
The Jews.
One chance. Jeez. Now you've done it. Now you said it, and now we're banned. Nice job.
Oh man. I mean, somehow that's incentive. I imagine. I don't know. But,
okay. Anyway, let's not say that word anymore as much as possible, please. Okay.
Oh, okay. The Jewish people.
There you go.
Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah. I have a few jokes. They're distasteful, but none of them are like. I'm not going to say any of them.
No.
No. No. I was going to
veto.
So yeah. So the remote viewers found that during like the Moses and stuff like that, it seemed like extraterrestrials were intervening. So maybe they looked in the future and then they just intervened at a certain point to steer humanity. And then so it's kind of weird that Israel and America are the ones that are coordinating with the aliens. So I guess that was the whole point of that. William says today they'll call them angels and demons. Tomorrow they'll call them something else. So we'll talk about this after the remote viewing thing. So let's hold that in mind. And let's go to Courtney Brown.
Let's go to Courtney Brown. So who is Courtney Brown for those that do not know? That was your cue.
Oh yeah. That was rhetorical.
No, that was for you. That was your cue.
Courtney Brown is the head of the Farsight Institute, which is a cool name. They aggregate the best remote viewers in the world, and they use that to do all these different projects to try and gather data. So I did an episode on my channel, Ask the Reptilian from Mars, check me out, about the pyramids, and it kind of summed up what they looked at. And remote viewing is basically like super meditating and then using that, whatever that is, your soul, your spirit, your essence, we actually literally don't know yet, and use that to gather data. The military did it. It has applications. It has been used in the past officially. And some of the people on his team are military. And so you can't discredit them because they have been predicting the future pretty consistently. And I guess they just kind of did it again, right, with this whole remote viewing thing. So over their time, they have discovered things that they didn't expect. And so this is I'm going to get you right to before the video. And the fact that there are extraterrestrials in intervening in our history, out there in space, in a lot of world events, there's aliens. And a lot of the aliens can see them and interact with them directly as soon as they manifest. So that's weird, I would say. And so over time, they've kind of collected this narrative, and they've been hinting to it, but they never really officially said it. And I was waiting for them to say it, and here it is. So this is their results. Their super high level top down view of all the remote viewings they've done. JFK, pyramids, 9/11, a lot of different things, right? Like aliens, wars, everything. This is the narrative that they discovered over.
Okay, which we're going to get to in just a second. Let me point out real fast that this individual, Courtney Brown, is probably, if you're into remote viewing, one of the probably top 5, top 10 preeminent remote viewers in the world. So like he's up there with names like Ingo Swann and guys like this that actually worked with the CIA back with Project Stargate. So I don't think Courtney Brown did, but he's definitely one of those folks that's up there in that world. So one of the top in the world. So just FYI, I just wanted to throw that out there. And okay, so let's get to Courtney Brown and exactly. So what did they say? What did they do? Could you send me a link of exactly what? Because you got a few links. I'm not sure which one you want here. Just send it to me, and I'll just fill the dead air here. But yeah, so hold on. We're about to get there. Now Courtney Brown has remote viewing and corroborated this story before this one came out. So Ash was talking about this probably close to 2 weeks ago, and then the article came out, and I was like, oh shit, well, we're late on this, and we have to now we have to do it. But yeah, so this is one of the situations where, right, remote viewing is is what, like, it's time travel. It's a lot of things. It's like time and space, being able to move through it, and all the rest of this. It's nutter stuff, right? It's out there. It's one of those things where you're like, damn, really? If this is real, like, this world is truly upside down. So here we go. Linking this. Actually, not linking it. Going to drop it in here. We're going to watch this. All right. Got it. Thank you for the link there, Ash. I had it up, but I
collect your thoughts.
Didn't want to have to guess. Okay, so here we are. This is Courtney Brown right in this video, right?
Yeah, this is Courtney. He's this is kind of like their format. They do like human news, which is actually really interesting. Based on their data and what they see, they like just report stuff to you, and it's based on their predictions of the future and the past and all that kind of stuff. There is a gap where it just stops. That's a good cutoff point. We can go further if you want, but that's a good point to stop and talk about it. And if we have time and you're interested, we can learn more about them and their stuff.
Okay, start at the beginning though.
Yep.
Okay. Courtney Brown, Farsight Institute from farsight.org. Like I said, one of the most respected remote viewers in the world. Here we go, action.
Collect your thoughts. You see, the history of our planet, solar system, and galaxy is far more complicated than anyone on Earth ever dreamed of. And we are revealing that complex history one project at a time. The pearls are a way for you to participate in our discovery process, allowing you to incorporate hints of what is coming with the results of currently published projects. Now, let me move on to the major thing that we are doing here at Farsight starting today, December 1st, 2020. This is the big Farsight event that you have been waiting for. If you watch the November Farsight Intelligence Briefing, you will understand that there are 3 basic divisions among the extraterrestrials affecting Earth currently. This is a conclusion to be drawn from much of our published and not yet published projects. The 3 groups are the Reptilians, the Orions, and the Galactic Federation of Worlds. The Reptilians and the Orions are both competitors and allies, depending on their current needs at the moment. But right now they are allies with respect to Earth. They view Earth and humanity as a set of resources, and they want those resources. The only thing stopping them from taking what they want with brutal force is the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Now, we will explain everything in great detail as we move forward with our projects, so patience. We are doing this as fast as we can, but we can no longer wait to ask for help. You see, the Galactic Federation of Worlds is sufficiently powerful that they can push the Reptilians and the Orions off this planet, but they cannot do it unless they are asked to do it by humanity. They have some fundamental belief in free will, and they will not help humanity if humanity cannot gather the strength to ask for it. If humanity wants to live as slaves controlled by hidden authoritarian exploiters who keep humanity in a constant state of disruption, then that is humanity's choice. Also, pushing the Reptilians and the Orions off this planet will not be easy. There is
Okay, I'm going to kill it there because that's 2 minutes in. A little more than 2 minutes on clips makes me drowsy. We 2 minute limit on clips. All right, here we go. So, yeah, it looks like internet's fine. Ash, send you a link. But okay, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So regarding what he just said, what's the deal? What's going on with this? So was he ahead of the game? Was this last week? Was this 2 weeks ago? When was this? Do you remember?
Yeah, this was right before this announcement, like a couple weeks, but they recorded this. He heard him say December 1st. So this was published later, or maybe it came from an older video. So this was like almost 2 weeks, close to like a week and a half before this announcement. And this was their conclusion. And they had, he personally, with his team, reached out to the Galactic Federation of Worlds through remote viewing and claims that through the remote viewing, they actually got counsel. They like sat there and listened to them and that they will receive your messages. So he actually goes on to prompt his viewers to communicate with them telepathically, remote viewing. Whether it works or not, it doesn't hurt. So yeah, he mentions that there are 3 factions dealing with Earth, and this narrative kind of zips everything up, right? It's like reptilians. We've heard about that. The Orions, which is basically like the Anunnaki. So the Orions were the faction that, the Anunnaki faction, and were heavily involved with the pyramids. So those 2 factions at different times in our history actually ruled the planet and then were driven out by the Galactic Federation of Worlds. So I don't know how much he says in this clip or not. So I'd hate to like be redundant and say something and then he says it. But he basically goes on to say that the Galactic Federation of Worlds is a conglomerate of different species, different civilizations, and that collectively they're stronger than the other 2. And so at some point, they basically quarantine our planet and basically push the other factions out. Now, those other factions still are engaged with the planet in an insurgency sort of manner. And going back to that comment about angels and demons, what's very fascinating about this narrative collaborates with any narrative that you want. It makes sense. So angels and demons. Well, what are angels? Let's say the Galactic Federation of Worlds are angels. They respect your free will, which makes a lot of sense. That's why the aliens aren't here, right? They're not like out in the open. And they want you to be good. They want humanity to succeed and join the collective. And then the demons, which would look like reptilians and potentially Anunnaki, who supposedly look like us, these Orion faction, which could be also have the mantids. I don't know where the mantids rest. I've actually paid money to try and figure that out. But moving on from that, so those factions interfere with humanity and try and undermine us because apparently there's like a deadline or there's a certain level of patience that if we don't get our shit together, the Galactic Federation pulls out, and then the bad guys get to like run rampant. And that's like, if you look at biblically, that's like the apocalypse, like demons coming out from underground. It's all what they're saying. Supposedly reptilians live underground, and that just to add another layer to this, these gray beings that we interact with a lot are Papua-New bio workforce. This is what they claim, and what, based on my research, I think. So what we think of as the common alien could just be basically be the workers for any 3 of those factions. Could literally represent anyone. And that Linda Moulton House says that they make bodies and they dial into them. So an alien could come here and it could be a reptilian, but it's actually the good guys. Or a good guy comes here and it's actually the bad guys. And then you pair that with the whole soul thing where people are supposedly incarnating here and aliens are incarnating here, where they incarnate here and then they become human and then they're battling the factions. So that could be angels or people who are possessed, right? So this, if you take this narrative and you just, you like combine it with any other narrative, it pretty much makes sense. It just would explain it. It's like, why are aliens not here? If aliens were here, we would see them. Well, they respect our free will. They don't want to get involved. Well, if aliens are good, then why do these wars happen? Well, it's probably the reptilian faction trying to get us to undermine ourselves. It just, it really just kind of like, you can put anything in there. So my bet's on this. If I had to put money in, I'm telling you, my bet's on this. I really want you guys to call in and see what you guys think. But this might be the slam dunk.
Possibly. So yeah, there we go. So Courtney Brown actually called us out before that article leaked. So who knows, right? This is the thing. So if he's a remote viewer and he can actually, they tapped into this and they were able to say, hey, look, before we have contact with aliens, there's something going on. There's this Galactic Federation. He used the words Galactic Federation. If that video is from December 2nd, then I'm sold. Like, remote viewing is MF and real. Like, there's no doubt about it. If this dude was dropping those words like days before this article leaked, and then But who knows, right? I mean, like let's be the ultra staunch Mick West type skeptic and say, well, the guy that came out with this actually, heard Courtney Brown and then ran with it. You know what I mean? Okay, so you can be like a super staunch skeptic about anything, but anyway, you get the point, right? Like this stuff. There's synchronicity involved that kind of is. I was telling Ash, no, we always talk about this shit, and then like bam, the world's talking about it, and we missed it, and that's rare, right? We're usually the ones kind of leading the charge on this stuff and talking about these things, and then the world catches up, but not this time. And that's due to Courtney Brown, and then due to me being a dick. But well, there you go. There it is. All right, so we are live, though. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. Troubledminds.org is the official website. We want to hear from you. What do you guys think about this? Do you think this could be real? Do you think there's something to this? Do you think that the Courtney Brown remote viewing and his Farsight Institute kind of corroborates this story from the guy, the Israeli dude named Haim Eshed? Or is this a bunch of BS? Is this a bunch of more concocted stories of who knows, maybe disinformation? I mean, these things are we're open to all these ideas, right? I think that's the problem here, is that we don't know. We don't know. Like, there's no definitive answers here. But by bringing it to you and being transparent and honest in the conversation, we have the advantage of that wisdom of the crowd again, where if we get together enough minds, we're smarter than the experts. We know more than the experts, and so we want to hear from you. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org. You can find the phone number and the Discord link there, and we'll get you on the show. It's super simple. You talk to Ash and myself and whoever might be listening, and to boot, we'll be nice to you. We're not those guys where you call in and we're just a dick. Unless you call in to troll us, then I'll just hang up on you. So, I won't even humiliate you. I'll just hang up on you. So that's just for the trolls, for the would-be trolls. But everybody else, you're totally welcome. We're cool. We're going to be cool to you. 702-957-1037, troubleminds.org. Click the Discord. Get on the show. We want to know what you think. Okay, so Courtney Brown, remote viewing, he used the words Galactic Federation. And this article comes out, and the world's talking about it. We're like NBC News, the BBC, the Daily Mail. Hold on. I'm going to just spin through a shit ton of articles here, because I got a shit ton of them. Just you search Galactic Federation, right? And then, here you go. You got this one. You got the Daily Mail here. I'm going to just drop these links as we go. Quick link dump, and and then we'll get to the back half of this, whatever it ends up being. So here we go. Dropping some links, guys. This is the Daily Mail. As we roll through, the mankind has made contact with an alien Galactic Federation, blah, blah. We got Breitbart, the retired Israeli general, space aliens, blah, blah. Dropping a bunch of stuff here. Again, everybody's covered this, right? And again, you end up wondering, what the hell's really going on, right? If the mainstream's covering this and we're not, right? That makes me suspicious, because we're usually ahead of this, right?
That's a good point.
We're usually ahead of this shit.
That's a good point.
So it just seems like everybody's all over this, and we're not. And I don't know. Maybe it's because we've covered this in depth thoroughly, in the past. Maybe we were ahead of this 6 months ago. I mean, I can believe that. But here's Snopes. This is the best. Snopes, the Galactic. This is I love Snopes so much. I mean, I love to hate Snopes so much. But yeah, just dropping some links here. Okay, there we go. But you get the point. I'll just burn through them all here. The IGN, Science. Oh, here's some good stuff. Top 10 questions I'd ask an alien from the Galactic Federation. Anyway, there's an unbelievable amount of news articles that have just been dropped about this. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so there we go. Phone number again, 702-957-1037. Millie said you want to call, I think.
Oh, wow. And, look at that.
What's that?
Science News, the top 10 questions I'd ask an alien from the Galactic Federation.
Do you want to go through that? We can go through that.
I was just saying, it's moving.
Yeah.
It's moving the peg.
Yeah.
The peg was freaking moved. Whoever is behind actual disinformation on the behalf of the American government, the CIA, whatever, the NSA, whoever it is, they're involved in this because they are pushing that. This is a you know what I'm saying? This seems official, from insurgency from within the government. This is getting too much traction too quickly.
That's kind of my point, right?
I was like, yeah, I contacted you. I was like, what's, look at this. I mean, I've joined a million crazy, you take any combination of paranormal words, it's like literally like a game. You just take like the Anunnaki werewolves of 2015 or something like that. I'm a part of that group. And this article is shown up differently in all those groups. And the reason I knew it was being pushed heavily is because it had a different freaking icon, text, and URL every time. Meaning that hundreds, maybe even thousands of different websites covered this. So that's a big deal. When everyone adopts it, it becomes common knowledge. The wisdom of the crowd.
Or the brainwash of the media. I think that's the thing, right? So that's what I'm saying. So I think we need to be cautious that this is clickbait because everybody's picked it up. So imagine if there's tons of stuff that come out that we cover all the time, right? We talk about like the fringe analytics, like fringe analysis, like I like to call it, but the mainstream never touches it. So you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like the algorithm, right? So if things get into the algorithm and then take off, I get suspicious. So there you go. Just throwing that out there, right? Like the way the media covers things kind of tips their hand. Maybe there's like that rare synchronicity where, maybe ignorantly they cover something that may be true and they do it because of the clickbait value, not really reporting it as true. So I'm sure those things happen too, but you see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's because everybody's covering it, it makes me suspicious of what's going on. So anyways, okay. So go ahead. Sorry.
Super quick. I mean, honestly, like we should be skeptical because our government does freaking lie to us. Aliens, I mean, we've heard this narrative before. Aliens aren't real. Maybe they have people who are hybrids that they made themselves or holograms or bodysuits or whatever. And that they're trying to do New World Order right now. So they're trying to do lockdowns. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. The Great Reset. And they're throwing this up against the wall. Well, if you want to join the Galactic Federation, you got to go along with the Great Reset. I mean, that's possible.
And that's what this is, right? So like they said, so in the article, the article said that we're not ready because we're still destroying the planet. We still hate each other. We're still causing wars. We're still doing all these terrible things, right? Which we know about ourselves. This is no secret. This is one of the themes of our show as well. Like that we live in the upside down, right? We're supposed to sit here and expect that everything's fine when everything's not fine, right? Like just because there's no fire in your house, in your actual house, doesn't mean there's not fires everywhere in the world. Like metaphorically, and that's just the way it is. Like people are killing each other the world over, and what is right? Like we're supposed to be cool with that. It's fine. Like it's unbelievable to me that the human rights thing is cool if it's not happening on your block. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Anyway,
then it's like the elites and the control. They're like manipulate us to get these wars, and then after the wars are done, they'd be like, "You're bad people." It's like, you son of a bitch, that was you.
Yeah,
it's like, we're gonna hide all this technology, and so that you have to use cars, and then we're gonna financially enslave you to go to work. Like you can't get through life without working. So then you got to drive a car to go to work, right? And then you drive a car to get to work, and you're like not making a lot of money, and then you're like, then the elites who keep the technology from you, for clean air, clean water, like you're such an asshole. You piece of garbage. Look at what you've done. Look at what you've done to this planet. And it's like, it's you. It's your fault.
It's your fault.
And then you point at them and they're like, no, it's the Republicans or
exactly.
No, it's
the
Democrats. And
then the Democrats, exactly.
And then your finger starts turning and then you turn to the other guy who's turning to you. And it's like, no, it's your fault. And then it's just, we're going in circles over here. So.
Yep, we got a phone call coming in. Let's take this. I don't know if they can hear you, Ash. I'm pretty sure you can hear them. Let's test this real fast. Let's take this phone call. You were on Troubled Minds with Mike and Ash. What's your first name and where do you call them from?
I'm Jay, Binghamton, New York.
Jay from New York. What's up, my man? What's on your mind tonight?
What's up, Jay?
Listening to your show, and you guys are like spot on, man. You just need to keep digging deeper and follow where the money's going. Stuff's been going on for eons. It's amazing to me that you guys are calling it out right now with everything that's going on. Put it on the news, and nobody seems to mind.
Yeah, right.
And that just seems odd to me.
We live in the upside down. Nobody gives a shit,
right?
Yeah. So if this is real, this is the most mind-blowing thing ever. And if it's not, it's just a bunch of clickbait bullshit, right? Like the polarized world we live in. It is or it isn't, right? Like we're supposed to jump off the cliff with our hair on fire, or we're just supposed to, sit down at the desk with our hands folded on our lap. it's unbelievable.
That's what's so crazy about it. I mean, you get the Virginia Beach firefighter treating that Oceana down there, who took a picture with his cell phone of a cube flying next to his plane, and they're like, well, it was on our radar. And that was the end of it. Crazy.
Of course. Yeah. Hey, we didn't see that thing over here. It's like, hey, send me a picture of your radar at that time. No, we're not going to.
No, it was on the news in Virginia Beach on Wavy TV.
Yeah, and that's not the only thing. It continues to happen. Yeah, it's the world over.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's shit on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. You ain't shitting.
Gone.
This stuff is real. I mean, in some capacity, this stuff is real. Like there's something going on that we can't really quantify as people. And that's, again, and this is what makes me suspicious about all of it. The quote official information comes from quote official sources. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. Like I'm more apt to believe some random person calling in and telling me they saw a UFO than I am the government. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, it goes back to that wisdom of the crowd. Why we do this open source? Why we have open lines? Because people see these things. Like I've seen these things with my own eyes, right? Like maybe not what you saw, maybe not what somebody else saw.
No,
we're seeing some things.
Kids, our Boy Scout troop used to go to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and check out the airport museum. And the guys were like, this technology is 45 years old. You're not even allowed to see anything until after it's 45 or 50 years old. So the stuff that we see that's so high-tech now is beyond what we could fathom now. I mean, we have so much technology now. Would you really think they're giving you the best iPhone?
Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah. I want the most modern. I want the Mars phone. I want the good stuff.
Dust resistant.
No. Nuclear resistant. Nuclear powered. That's what I want.
Yeah, we have no atmosphere up here.
But yeah, no.
Well, they have an awful lot of dust.
Yeah, that's true. That's that weird Mars dust. No, okay. So let me ask you. So, Jay, have you ever seen a UFO personally?
I don't really know. I mean, I've been out west and stuff like that, and you see some really funky stuff flying around the skies because you're tired and you're driving down the road. Was it a meteor? Was it a whatever? I've seen some stuff in Central Ohio. I don't know, man. Did I see the guy sitting flying the thing? No. Have I seen some strange stuff in the sky? Yes. I'm my tinfoil hat is really not that thick, man.
But you realize
and the things that have gone on in the world. There has been the Chinese government is what? How old is China?
One of the oldest civilizations in the world.
Forever.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the Japanese have been around forever. India, they've been around forever. They all have pyramids. You start walking around down in Mexico and stuff that people have forgotten about forever. History is old. This stuff has been going on
Whoa, are you using common sense? You can't use common sense. You got to believe whatever the media is telling you, okay? Alien, all that stuff's crazy talk. Just because you see it and you can feel it and it's impossible, that they could do it back then. And
coming from kind of a military family, you just said, yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, you didn't see that.
Yep. I'm in, brother.
Don't raise any words up. No one will ask you any questions. That's why your guys' show is cool, because you're in there. You're digging.
Yeah. There's
looking.
Again, the mainstream media does like a 30-second clip, and they talk about just basically reading headlines. It's an unbelievable, pretty much on every topic.
Everybody a telephone and they look at it, and then that's the end of it because our attention span is less than a goldfish net.
Yeah, TikTok attention span is what I call it. That's where we're at. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's so true, though. It's so true. Jay, you're the man. First time caller, right?
Somehow you popped up on my Facebook page, and I was like, "Wow, what the fuck are these guys talking about?"
We get that a lot.
Well, and I clicked on it. And I was listening to your show for however long it's been going on since you're live now, and I was like, "Wow, these guys are running down the right road. I hope they've got tractor trailers full of backhoes."
Yeah, you're the backhoe guy.
50,
I see.
I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm 50. I've seen this stuff. I build buildings and stuff like that for the military. What the hell are you guys building here? I mean, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's
I know you can only say so much, but do you build underground buildings, perhaps?
The place where they did the drilling. The airplane hangar where they had something serious going on underground. I was hanging the doors on the hangar.
Wow, my mouth is wide open.
30 years ago.
Exactly. Like this shit is not new.
30 years ago.
I was streaming on Twitch earlier.
I'm going to ask you questions, but I don't want you to get Bill Coopered.
$24.75 an hour to do it.
Nice. That's fat pay then.
You hung up your thing, you put in your bolts and shit like that. You put your bolts down, you drove out the thing. You stopped at the PX and bought your beer and your cigarettes before you left.
Nice. Because you got a better price, right?
But you went in, you did your job, and that was it.
Nice.
Mind your business, keep your head down, don't ask questions.
Super interesting.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That is good stuff. Yeah, man. So hey, we do this twice a week, dude. We do this twice a week, and we talk about all this crazy stuff. So thanks for joining us tonight.
Facebook, man. Hopefully it pops up, man.
Dude, follow the page. Follow the page. Troubledminds.org. Go to the website.
I was looking at that.
It's all there.
What was that other thing you were talking about with Amazon Prime where I can donate my money to?
Check it out. Go to
Put the plug in for all the other guys that are listening.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Go to troubledminds.org and bookmark the page. I will leave a little blurb on the top of that page that explains exactly how to do that Amazon Prime thing. Like I said, it's free money, right? You don't have to pay an extra penny, but if you like what we're doing, it gives us something and keeps us going. So
taking a little bit of money from somebody who's making $1 billion.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Yeah. It's a way to get back at the man.
Guy?
Yeah, dude. Okay, so go to. I'm going to link it in the chat.
Tell them to do it because they don't listen to your show.
I appreciate that a lot. Troubledminds.org. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'll spam it. Go bookmark that, and in the next week, I promise you, I'll put a little blurb on top of the page explaining how to do it. Because it's literally free money floating out there on the table that you don't have to pay extra. It's amazing, right? So anyway,
Amazon for the free shipping.
Exactly.
So give you the $2 or $3.
Exactly. We may as well do that, right? It's amazing. And so,
free shipping.
Yeah, free shipping.
Like
Free Amazon. Hey, Jay from New York. I appreciate you calling tonight.
Some more info that I don't know.
Yeah. Tons of good stuff, man. I appreciate you calling. Thanks for. We got to keep on moving here. So, any final thought before we keep on moving?
No, I'm rattling on now.
No, you're good. You're totally good, man. You're totally good. That's why we do it, because we want people like you to call. You got good ideas, and this is the craziest part, right? Let me just say this: everybody that listens to the show knows this. Just because you think in terms of what we're talking about, aliens or conspiracy or whatever it is, it doesn't mean you're nuts. It doesn't mean you're nuts. Like this should be the normal state of people thinking, and they just don't. I don't understand.
Question everything.
Yeah, amen, brother. Amen.
I mean, that's how science works.
Exactly. Exactly.
Why is this not working? I mean, all of these things that are going on, and I understand you guys are trying to stay away from this on today's show, but the science, you look at the math, you look at the data, you look at all of these things, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Come on. We all got high school educations at least. I mean, we're not that stupid, are we?
No.
Maybe we should be teaching some other stuff in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
especially now. Especially, they're teaching the same shit they did 50 years ago. It hasn't really changed, except it has.
You know, I got toddlers, and they're in kindergarten and pre-K right now. And the fact that they're not in school all the time the way that they should be is definitely detrimental. You know, it's going to change them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
because they're not allowed to play with other kids.
Yeah. Yep.
We're in New York, and New York has, you know, social distancing and no groups and nothing like that.
And you got that asshole governor.
And that might go back to the conversation that we're having today about the aliens and everything else like that. Is that why? Was this a big distraction to get us more focused on the fact that we're moving or we're whatever? But we don't know because we don't have all the information.
Exactly. But that's why we need to be thinking about it.
Make a decision about that.
Yeah, you're spot on. Jay from New York, thank you so much for the call. Thanks for listening tonight. Again, troublewise.org, go to the website and come back. Most importantly, just come back. Because I'm telling you, we don't always talk about exactly this. We talk about all kinds of other stuff. So
send to my cousins and my friends right now.
I appreciate that. So much. Jay from New York, first time caller. Thanks for finding us, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a fantastic night, my friend.
Have a good night.
Thanks a lot. You too. There you go.
Thanks, Jay. Nice talking to you, man.
Simple as that, guys. Wow. That's a good call. That's a good call. First time caller.
Park, right?
First time caller.
Thank
exactly.
You, man. He said, what did he say? You guys keep digging. You guys dig. No, that's what it was. Jay from New York. You guys dig.
You guys dig.
I love that. That.
Well, exactly, because nobody's talking about this shit. I think that's the problem, right? But at least honestly, right? It's either clickbait, they're selling books, or they're doing some other bullshit, you know? It's just, Anyway, like I said, I always say there's something to be had for an honest conversation. So I appreciate the call. There you go. It's as simple as that. 702-957-1037. You call that number, you get on the show, you talk to Ash and myself, and whoever might be listening, right? Again, this is our show. This is not, I always say this, you don't have to be Linda Moulton Howe, you don't have to be George Knapp, you don't have to be all the rest of these folks. You just pick up the phone and you call, you get on the show, and you're you. You're you and we're us, and we're just having a conversation. So, and just like that, we have another call coming in. So before we take this, anything additional there on the last call, Ash?
No, yeah. Thanks, Jay, for calling in. Sometimes we're over here just talking about crazy stuff. What they say is crazy. We're at the water pool cooler, and I say this a lot. It's these are things that you think about, and they don't want you to talk about, right? And it's like, if you're thinking about it and you have an opinion on it, it's important. And so we could talk about anything here. We're not the freaking mainstream CIA controlled media. So call in. Let's have calls. And that was a great call. Thanks for calling in. You guys are always welcome to call in, and let's chat it up. Let's talk about weird, crazy stuff.
Let's do it. Next call. We're going to you. You are on Trouble Minds with Mike and Ash. What's your first name? Where are you calling from? Alex, where you at? You don't have to tell us exactly. You can lie. It's okay.
I'm out in Utah, man.
Alex in Utah. What's up, my man? What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I've been trying to catch you guys for quite a while, right? So there was some stuff that I saw quite a bit back and read about, and it was like the Captain Kai, and it was like the Mars Defense Force stuff. And I don't know if you guys have ever touched on it or talked about it. But I wanted to hear if you had anything on it, because I live out by a certain base that's not talked about very much, but it's on the same lines as like as White Sands and things like that, and see a lot of crazy stuff. And I've had a lot of stuff that I've been able to put together myself, but haven't been able to really confirm a whole lot of things. So I just kind of wanted to pick your brains on it.
Yeah, okay, so you're talking about Randy Kramer, the Marine on Mars, Captain K, right? That's the guy.
Sorry, I missed a little bit of what you said.
Oh, no, so Captain K is Randy Kramer, the Marine on Mars, right, with the secret base the time traveling experiments, the rest of this stuff. Like, this is the guy you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we did do a whole show on that. That was one of our probably 7th or 8th show ever. And so there's a lot there, right? It's like he said a lot of things that, are like defy explanation. And so you kind of find yourself in a situation many times when you hear these things where you're like, is this real? Could this be real? I don't know. But oddly enough, the more you look into this type of thing, the more you start to see some recurring themes, right? And so now in this situation, we have this individual that's saying there's a Galactic Federation and there's secret bases on Mars, which seems to corroborate exactly what Randy Kramer was saying. And, he's been called a fraud and, he may be fibbing or who knows, right? But when you start to get a pattern of people saying similar things, it's harder to dismiss it, right? Again, like I said, we're always open to the possibility that we're being fooled, all right? Because it's always possible. But we're always also open to the possibility of alien life, and maybe there's been contact. Like there's been a lot throughout the history that you could maybe make the case. I'm sure everybody's seen Ancient Aliens and the rest of this. So, I mean, there's a lot, right? There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to talk about. But yeah, go right ahead.
So one of the weird things that I've seen and I've put together myself is I went to college a while back and I had a loose lift instructor. And her husband was a biological engineer at this base. And as you probably know, the weapons, biological agents, things like that, that'll shut a base down really fast. And so happens, flash forward, I talked to her, I find out about her husband, and then I had watched a TV program a while back that probably everybody's seen, which was Hangar 1. Well, the dates that they gave and the dates that she gave all coincided. And the dates that they gave had to do with a guy seeing a spaceship landing, and it landed, on a base, and the base got locked down. And it coincided with a whole lot of what she had to say. And it seemed a whole lot like the base commander was like, hey, you need to lose this biological agent because we need to make sure that people don't land here, or people don't come here because there's something landing, and we need to cover that up. We need to make sure people don't find out about it.
Yeah, Hangar 1's actually one of my favorite UFO shows because, right, they kind of delves into the MUFON archives. But the thing I don't like about MUFON is it's behind a paywall. Everything they do, they want to charge for. So yeah, there's some good stuff there, man. Like the aliens that they've supposedly broke out from the base, like you're saying. Like there's a lot there. There's a lot there. And again, right? So is it disinformation? Is it hogwash? Is it bullshit? Is it some person telling a ridiculous story? And again, that's why we're here talking about this. I think it's an important conversation to have. Like, are we being fooled, or are we being fooled? You know what I mean? It's kind of like pick your poison.
Right. Well, and that's what I was kind of thinking. Hey, maybe this confirms the ships that are out there, or that could be out there, is because they're going to need a place to land. And the way this all kind of came together was. This guy got away. He showed his pictures, and it kind of all added up to, yeah, there was something landing there, or there was something refueling there before it was going to go. And this guy said it was like football fields big.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Again, these types of accounts are numerous. It's not even hundreds anymore. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of these types of things. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you, man. It's impossible to say. So what do you think? Let me ask you. First, have you ever seen a UFO with your own eyes?
100%.
Okay.
And I mean, I can literally go off my back deck and I can see shit that shouldn't be there probably 50% of the time, looking towards the western sky.
Okay. All right. I've seen some weird shit too, so I'm with you. All right. So how about regarding extraterrestrials and contact with humanity? Do you believe that's a thing and it's real?
I do, and I think it's probably happening, 100 miles from my house.
Okay, as that unnamed military base. It's going down.
And the thing is like probably like offline, I'd be more than happy to tell you exactly where it is. But
okay, sure.
You know,
Sure.
You know, sanity check. I don't want to do that over the lines, right?
Yeah, no, of course. Like you don't want to do things that'll get you in trouble. You don't want to. There's a line you don't cross in public, and yeah, for sure. So if you're new, I think you're a first time caller as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I've been, I've seen you guys forever, but this is the first time that I've listened to it in, length.
Okay. Awesome. And we're not insane, right? Can I get a nod? We're not insane?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Hey, that means a lot, man. It means when I wake up tomorrow, I have a different path. Okay. So
I don't think so too, but an insane person would think that too, right? So
yeah, that's true. That's
never
true.
know.
That's true.
That's all our problem.
That's true. Okay, so do me a favor then and come back. Call back, man. Like, this is exactly why we do this. We do it live for this exact reason. We want people like you to call. The last caller was fantastic. You were fantastic. And again, like, I don't detect any amount of crazy in you or anybody else that calls into this show. You know what I mean? So that there's something to this, and the conversation is valid. This is something that needs to be had, a conversation that we need to have as a society, as a world population, as a human race, and we're just not. So that's what we're here to do.
Well, and if I could say one more thing, like probably one of the biggest experiences that I've had was with probably 10, 15 other people in, Flaming Gorge. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but I mean, there's 10, 15 people that saw it happen. And I mean, it's hard for, 10 or 15 people to be crazy all at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Like mass hallucinations, they called it, right? Back in the Project Blue Book days, which makes no sense. Right. It just makes no sense. It's just like a swamp gas that explains everything away. No, like weather balloons. Yeah, right? Like, again, we're not dumb. Come on. We may be confused sometimes, but we're not dumb. Yeah. Hey, Alex.
Right.
Yeah. Alex from Utah, you're the best, man. Anything else before we move on here?
No, man. I just wanted to, throw that out there and see what you guys thought.
Appreciate that a lot. We're going to continue talking about this. We don't stop. Like this is 2.5 plus years in, and we're still talking about this, right? So we're not going to stop. This is and how good is this, right? No commercials. You dial the phone, you get right on the show, right? Dare I say, better than coast to coast?
Yeah, you can actually talk about stuff, right?
Yeah, you can actually talk about stuff. No call screeners, nobody telling you you're wrong and spitting on you and hanging up. None of that. We don't do that, man. Thank you. You're the best. Thanks for the call. Thanks for finding us, and call back, man. Call back. We want to hear from you soon. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, brother. Have a great night. Thanks for the call, Alex from Utah. Simple as that, guys. You dial the phone, you get on the show. 702-957-1037. It's a Las Vegas area code. Troubledminds.org is the official website. You'll find the phone number there on the website and the Discord link. If you haven't joined the Discord, please do. Easy peasy, right? How about that, Ash? Any comments on that?
Yeah. I mean, great call-ins. Thanks, guys, for calling in. I mean, I called in once. And,
exactly. And look what happened. Look where we're at now. You ended up on Mars in exile.
Yeah. One call, guys. And it's just all uphill and downhill from there.
So Ash called one time, and then I made a phone call, and they took him to Mars. It's as simple as that. You think Elon Musk is good? Yeah. Nope. Just kidding, of course.
You need to take care of this guy right now.
Get rid of this guy. Okay, so there you go. 702-957.
It's nice to have these. Oh, go ahead. Good.
No, you go ahead. Because I actually have to step away for just a minute. So you got the microphone. No off-color jokes. I'll be right back.
Got it. No, come on, man. I'm not gonna torpedo the show, but yeah, it's just great. It's just great to have a place where we can talk about these kind of things and not seem nuts, But it's funny. These are the important questions, right? Who cares what Kim Kardashian is wearing Friday? Who cares what Justin Bieber is doing? Like, do you ever just wake up and you like look at what everyone else is paying attention to, and you're like, what is this crazy world I live in? And then you just, for a moment, you just look up and you see trillions of stars. Actually, there are trillions of galaxies, right? And you just feel like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing a little bit of information here. And, you go to school, you shut up, you sit down, you listen to your teacher, they tell you this, you grow up and you realize that half of that was bullshit, or a lot of history was fake. And, a lot of these institutions are kind of setting you up for failure. And it's frustrating. And all you want to know is, are there aliens, Sasquatch? Maybe you'll have an experience when you're young, or you see a ghoul or a ghost or something moves across the table. And those things perpetuate your consciousness. They infect you with this idea, like there's got to be somewhere more, and something more. And you're like Neo in the Matrix, and you just can't let it go. And you're just waiting for that Morpheus moment where he holds out those two pills, and maybe that moment's coming for all of us, right? Like, and so I have a lot of respect for you. If you're sitting here wondering, you have a curiosity that is stronger than the negative forces of the social constructs that try to create to keep you down. And to a certain level, you're brave to do these things. And so anyone who calls in, anyone who's watching, I have a lot of respect for you. And thanks again for tuning in.
Amen. Amen.
Well, I gave that little Independence Day speech. Check my channel out on YouTube.
Do it.
just give this like nice speech, and then just plug with like corporatism, just turn it into marketing. But no, check out my channel, Ash the Reptilian from Mars. It's going to be dropped here. Let me make sure I'm dropping the right link here. Drop it in the chat here, and check out my channel, Ash the Reptilian from Mars. Over there, I talk about anything, like literally anything. Aliens, pyramids. My last episode was about the alien false flag that they had planned for a while, and the production's getting better. Everything's getting better. Just trying to catch up to Mike on like making it look good and stuff. So, thanks again for tuning in, and check me out there.
There you go. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have a few more shout outs here. On YouTube, we got, we got Game Vet 02. What's up, buddy? Truck drivers. God bless the truck drivers, man. No cold beer without you guys. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. Alan, damn, it scrolled. Who did I miss? Let's see, who else? I missed somebody because it scrolled too far. We got Orion Grays. I see you there on YouTube. Thanks for showing up. We got Bailey. What's up, Bailey? Thanks for being here tonight. We got, who else? Some quick shout outs. Doing our thing, hanging out, talking about aliens and all the shit we're not supposed to talk about. The Wizard Gren with some fantastic chat again. And keep that stuff coming, right? This is what kind of jogs people to think, Alan, there we go. Alan on if Musk had glasses, he would look like Clark Kent, says Alan. Great comment. Who else do we got? The Wizard Grin, like I said, Game Vet. We got who else? Who else is here tonight? Orion Grays. I think we're good. I think we're caught up. Okay, so right? Like, look at that. Back to back, two amazing callers, and guess what? This show is live for you. 702-957-1037. We're going to keep talking about this. If something pops up and you guys want to talk about it, just call in. Las Vegas area code, or if you don't like the long distance, Discord is free. If you have an internet connection, Discord is free. Go to troubledminds.org, the official website, click the Discord link, get your ass in here. Talk to us, tell us what you think, because again, right, Ash is one Martian, I'm one human, and right, we're nothing without you guys. We have a 6-minute delay in our communications, and wrap your mind around that. But we're still making it work, aren't we? Yes, we are. All right, so
amen, brother.
Amen, brother. All right, so back to this then. What else is there to talk about regarding the Galactic Federation? There's a ton here, right? There's an unbelievable amount of information, because this is not new. This is not a new concept.
I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna trigger Mike, guys. Let's do it. All right, this is directed at you, Mike. I'm gonna interview you. Michael Strange, what do you think about the Galactic Federation world's narrative in conjunction with the Tom DeLonge others that we covered on a previous podcast that was featured on Reddit. In this narrative, Tom DeLonge claims that insiders are actually in a cold war with extraterrestrial beings. Chess moves and counter moves secretly without the population knowing, trying to discourage them from negatively influencing humanity, and that these influences have caused us to wars and all kinds of negative stuff and experiences. So, based on this new information that came out, what would you say? What do you think about that connection? Is it possible? Do you think it's true? Is it smoke? Is it smoke on smoke? What do you have to say there, Michael Strange?
No comment. Next question.
No, you can't do that to me.
Okay. No. Right again. This is something we've talked about quite a lot on this show. And it's I think the only thing, again, I am not opposed to the idea of extraterrestrials being here on Earth. I'm opposed to us learning that from CIA-connected people and organizations. You see? Like, I have a very hard time being told what is real from the government when you know about Project Mockingbird and Operation Mockingbird and their connection with the media and how they've lied to us for dozens and dozens and dozens of years regarding the UFO subject. That's the only thing. So it pisses me off because there's a lot here, and we never get the truth, and everything's misinformation, or the Richard Doty bit where they're trying to make us think one thing when it's another thing entirely. Like, who knows, right? It's just it is a lot. There's a lot here, and it pisses me off, but whatevs. That's why we talk about it. That's why I think it's important to kind of cover both sides of it. Whether this is real, like, are aliens visiting us, or is this a bunch of CIA bullshit? I think it's good to have both in your mind at the same time. So, yeah, there we go. There's me being even-keeled and not raging, even though you try to trigger me. Nice try, buddy.
I went for it,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to entertain the viewers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll get triggered, though. Don't wait. Don't you worry. It'll happen. Okay, so...
But it is, like I was saying before, this narrative, all that stuff fits within this narrative, right? I mean, if it checks out to some degree, it fits right in that there's these negative forces influencing humanity. So, like any narrative, freaking put it in here and it works. It's just like the ultimate... the Transformers that come together, like Decimator and all those, they have the 5 Transformers come together at Voltron. This is like the Voltron of conspiracy theories. Everything fits into it. You just take a hat full of conspiracy theories, pull out JFK. All right, JFK was assassinated because the reptilian forces influenced the CIA to take him out because to shift the timeline in the right direction. Or maybe the benevolent forces had him taken out because where there's this chain of events that like destroyed humanity or something like that. So I don't know. It's with the others, with that whole Tom DeLonge, it would explain why, if they're at this Cold War with these other entities, why they didn't just wipe us out, because there's some sort of galactic force, and it's like keeping Satan, these negative ETs, Satan, whatever you want to call it, at bay. And so I don't know. It's really interesting. Like I said, you can honestly bet money on this, put your money on it. It could turn out to be kind of wrong, but still such a giant umbrella that you're kind of right too at the same time. So maybe you get half your cash. I don't know.
Half your cash. There we go. Worf, what's up on Facebook, says, I trust Ash when it comes to aliens. There you go, buddy. You got a fan. Thank you, Penny, for linking our stuff. Penny's linking your YouTube channel. She's linking Trouble Minds merch and the website.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much, Penny. Thank you so much. Again, right? Like these are the things that's impossible to juggle 20 things at the same time. We appreciate you like you don't know. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go. Let's move. Let's keep on moving. So what else is there? So we've got the Paul Hellyer says there's at least 4 races of aliens. Humans have been in contact with them. He's worked in the government for Canada. We've got Nick Pope, the UK guy, that says he was basically their version of Lou Elizondo, which worked for ATIP here, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program here in the United States. like we got so we have these insiders, and they're kind of telling us a similar story, right? And then we got characters like Michael Salla, of what's his website? I can't remember, but like he exopolitics.org. Like there's just a lot of people out there, right? Whether you want to believe the Corey Goods or the David Wilcox with the blue feather people, or if you want to believe people like, who knows? I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't know where to go from here, but I do know it's a fascinating conversation and a great thought experiment. So I've got some clips to play. What do you want to do? Autobots? Oh, I can do this. Nikki says Autobots roll out. Hold on. Autobots roll out. There we go. Got it. This is my best
Pretty good. You could turn the volume up. With all your fancy audio things, you could really, I bet you could nail that too.
Oh, probably. Probably.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, so
you failed
we got
me yet again, Starscream.
Exactly. There you go. We could do the whole between the two of us. We could do the whole cartoon by ourselves. The voiceovers. Okay.
There you go.
All right. So
that would not be cringy at all.
No, exactly right.
Two grown ass men doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Not only that, bad versions of it. Bad versions.
Oh man. That'd be so bad.
Yeah.
All right. We should do that. Like we'll just change our names and stuff. Do a secret YouTube channel.
You mean change your names again?
It might be one of those things that take. Yeah. We should just we change your names, we do it, and it's like maybe it's one of those things that's so cringy it ends up on like Adult Swim or something. You never, you know what I mean? Like,
you're so bad, you're good. Bad. Like it loops around the other way. Yeah, who knows? Okay, anyway, so I got tons of stuff here. Is there anything you want to go to that we can continue? So we got again this former Israeli space security chief says aliens exist, humanity not ready, and this Galactic Federation. We talked about what Lou Elizondo had to say about it. We talked about Courtney Brown, remote viewing, how he was actually ahead of this, right? Time travel and remote viewing, and he was ahead of this as it dropped. Maybe. How about this? Is this possible? Think about this, Ash. So let's say that Courtney Brown and his remote viewing guys picked up the press from the future and reported it as fact, even though this former Israeli space security chief was wrong and making shit up to sell a book. What do you think, right? So like it was in the zeitgeist, and it was like pressed so hard and so fast, it came through to them as something, and they weren't able to determine the truth of that. Do you think that's possible?
So they were claiming that they wanted they were going to ask people to do something 3-4 months from now to affect mankind's kind of destiny. I guess you would kind of. That's not exactly what they said, but I'm paraphrasing for them and kind of like looking a little bit deeper. So maybe they looked into the future. They saw this kind of thing happening, and they were kind of preparing for it, and they were trying to have a larger impact. Have this have a larger impact. So. Or maybe they were just, like you said, they're reaching out in the zeitgeist. They think they're having a personal experience, but they're actually just reaching into the collective future history of mankind.
Which is phony press, which it could be, because we know that the media is full of shit for sure. So yeah, weird, right? Weird, all of those things. How they could be. I mean,
it's just weird. It's like a week and
a
half.
False positive. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Weird stuff. Okay, so all right, so let's see, what else do we got? You want to go to some of these questions, like the questions I would ask of the Galactic Federation?
Let's go a little. We didn't really. Did you get to the pause on the?
No, we didn't even get to that point. Nope.
Let's play a little bit more in case I can't remember. I've consumed so much stuff, guys. I freaking don't even know. I don't know where things came from anymore. It's like I don't know if it came from like a random video, but. I'm getting that Alex Jones syndrome where you can make the connections, but you can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, oh, I know about this, and like I heard one politician or a political figure talk about his Jewish history, and then I made the connection to aliens, and then I made the connection to 2 of these other things, and I'm like, oh, maybe. Anyway, maybe I'm just going. Slowly slipping into madness, but yeah, let's go through the Corey Good up until the dark. Yeah.
You just called Courtney Brown Corey Good, bro. I think that's 20 lashes. What?
More evidence for what I was just saying.
Okay. Not we're talking Courtney Brown, not Corey Good. Very different. Here we go. Part 2 of what he's talking about. So again, Courtney Brown is a remote viewer, one of the most widely respected in the world. Again, up there with names like Ingo Swann and people that worked with the CIA back in the 60s and 70s. And they are actually onto this at least a week before this article broke in this Israeli space security chief. So here we go. Let's play a little bit more from Courtney Brown, and they're basically seeing it in the future. So let's see what he had to say regarding the Galactic Federation of Worlds action.
It's likely going to be a fight, one that you will witness right above your heads. But the Galactic Federation of Worlds is not going to fight for us if we don't do anything ourselves.
Okay. What the hell is going on with this video? All right, let's refresh. We're going to go back to 218.
Collect your thoughts.
There we go. Collect your thoughts. All right, here we go. We're going to go right back to the spot we stopped. Here we go. All right, action. Well,
as you will see in future projects, right? The Galactic Federation of Worlds tried to help humanity in the past, but humanity turned them down. Now, human leadership has been totally corrupted through means as varied as you can imagine. To begin to understand part of how this works, I suggest that you watch or rewatch our project, Human Leadership Has Been Compromised. Bluntly, it is not possible for human national leaders at the current time to ask for help from the Galactic Federation of Worlds. It is just not going to happen. But the Galactic Federation of Worlds does not need human national leadership to ask for help. Others can ask for it. And it does not have to be anyone in particular on this planet. Just a few thousand people can make a difference. It has taken this long for Farsight to gain a sufficient audience and to educate that audience through our projects over the years. But now that this is basically far enough along, we can ask you for help. We are now asking all of those in our audience who want to help our mission to directly ask the Galactic Federation of Worlds for assistance. Now, this is how we are going to organize this. First, you need to have a calm mind. The Galactic Federation of Worlds can tell in an instant if someone is in the wrong frequency for them to help. If you are panicky or fearful or angry or drenched in the emotion of begging, they're simply going to ignore you. If you are deeply settled in your mind, they will listen. You have to vibe similarly with the Galactic Federation of Worlds for them to listen to you. Also, if you pray to them, they will run away from you like you have the plague.
Okay, I'm stopping there. Did you hear that? That's what Tom DeLonge said, didn't he? Tom DeLonge said if the aliens come to you and you call out in prayer, it will banish them. Didn't he say the same thing? I'm pretty sure he said
Yeah, but
that.
he said it as if they're bad guys and you call out to Jesus, they've run. But it might be like they cringe and they're like, ugh, and they run.
Right, like a frequency, like a EMP for aliens is prayer, right? That's kind of what he was trying to say.
Well, prayer in a way that, see, I don't want to trash on religions because I don't know the truth, right? I don't want to put it, at the core, religions are supposed to be like mankind figuring out the world they live in and have. So I don't have any ill means for religion. I don't think any religion is 100% right. I mean, come on, we all have to agree that's the case. As long as humans are involved, it always kind of be meshy. But according to these guys, most of the aliens are telepathic. Their sonic abilities are greater than ours. So they can connect with you and your feelings and your energy. And so they can kind of tell what you're thinking, if you're scared or whatever. So there's like stories where people get paralyzed and they're like, dude, we're not going to hurt you, chill. But most aliens, I mean, even if you're just like a normal dude, you could probably take on like a dozen grays by yourself. You can just mop the floor with these guys so they have like more extensive mental capabilities, right? And like connecting with you on your energy, your spiritual level. And what we would kind of call spirit is just kind of science we don't really understand. So, we're all on the same team, probably, whether you're talking about science or religion or whatever. But yeah, that they kind of run from you. He'll go on to say more, so I don't want to get ahead of it.
Okay. All right, let's play a little bit more of this. Again, this is Courtney Brown, remote viewing. And again, so the Wizard Grin says, no proof at all. Are we supposed to take it on faith? And I think so. I think remote viewing is kind of that, right? And so you can't really trash both or all at the same time. I don't know. It's just, it is, right? Like, it's one of those things where you look at the remote viewers, you see what they say, and these guys it's farsight.org. Check out the website, right? Check it out. Like, go look. They've got a bunch of free content. You guys can, like, listen to the stuff and what they've said. And, they've remote viewed the past, remote viewed the future, and the present, obviously. And they have some takes on this. And he was ahead of this. He was ahead of this article. And like I said, does that mean that this is really happening and he was kind of tuned into this somehow and his team were tuned into this? Or did maybe he tap into the media zeitgeist and realize that this was like, maybe didn't realize it was not real, but maybe was led astray in his remote viewing. Again, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to really say that. But again, he's one of the most respected guys in the field. So here we go. Let's play a little bit more from this. It's sorry, go ahead.
A little piece of information. Again, I don't know where in his literature. I actually contacted him personally, and I'm waiting to hear back on a really spicy email. Mike and I threw a few questions to him. If we get an answer, it'd be a really spicy email. It'll be nice. But in his literature, they remote viewed our potential futures interacting with these different organizations. So they might be like doing like telepathic psyops, where they basically will be like, well, they look into the future and then they are interjecting their own stimulus. And people who have either been abducted or remote viewed have seen aliens doing this, where they're mapping timelines and they're deciding if they should do stimulus, to the point where supposedly, like, the reptilians shot down like a rocket that was supposed to go to Mars or something like that. That they like secretly try to do things that are probably galactically illegal, right? A lot of these things they're doing they're not supposed to be doing. It's criminal behavior, which would explain a lot, right? Like, sometimes they get away with shit and like we see things or get abducted or whatever, and they're like, whoa, what the hell? But it's not like a mass common occurrence. So really interesting. So, you're saying like, maybe they did it on accident, and I'm saying maybe they did it on purpose too. Maybe they're scoping out the future and they're like doing it. I mean, we don't know, right? So, but it's kind of fun to like, postulate and, like thinking about our conversation. This is a good conversation, man. Be like, we try to like kind of hit it from a bunch of different angles based on, being fooled in the past, right? Kind of sometimes you believe in stuff and you feel dumb and you're like, oh well, or sometimes you think you got it, whatever. So we try to hit it from all the different angles. So good commentary, good stuff.
And not only that,
pat myself on the back.
No, we're not even done. So after this, we're going to go into what if this is a fraud. So we're going to talk about some of the things. So notice, now here's the thing, right? So usually when people bring something to the forefront in, media, the zeitgeist, whatever, they're selling something, right? So we're going to go into that. Maybe he's just working too hard to sell a book and making a bunch of shit up. So there's some evidence to suggest that might be true as well. So again, like, we're not here bringing answers to you guys. We're here bringing questions and trying to tie information together and let you decide. Always remember that. We're not demagogues trying to tell you this or that. It's just not that way. If we were, we would shut down the phone lines and we would read from a list and we would tell you these are the truths of the world. And we don't do that, right? If you disagree with us, you can call right now and you can talk to us about that. 702-957-1037. Again, right? Like, where else on the entire internet, right? Like, think about the billions of connections on the internet and how few are actually transparent. I think right there, in and of itself, tells you a lot about what we're trying to do. So let's keep trucking, and then we'll get to that. We'll get to the back half of this after Courtney Brown. So here we go. Another couple minutes of Courtney Brown, the remote viewer, talking about the Galactic Federation of Worlds Action.
They don't want to have anything to do with anyone who wants to make a religion out of them. You have to treat yourselves as equals to them, total equals, not lesser in any respect. Yes, they have more advanced technology, but that doesn't matter. So, we have been asking our audience to learn how to meditate, and we have offered you lessons on how to do farsight meditation. Those lessons can be found on our website and on farsightprime.com and on our YouTube channel. What we are asking you to do now is to do something extra once a day, and the evening may be convenient for many. After you meditate, we want you to reach out in your minds and say something to the Galactic Federation of Worlds. They will hear you. Basically, we want you to say this: human leadership has been compromised and does not represent either myself or humanity. We request intervention from the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Listen, everyone. Human national leaders are very few in number, and the biggest ones total less than 20 people. And those leaders are incapable of doing anything in this current situation. They have been compromised in more ways than one. The Galactic Federation of Worlds is not expecting anything from that group. On the other hand, if a few thousand deeply settled people from Earth reach out and directly ask for assistance, they will listen. This is what we want you to do. After meditating, perhaps you might want to go to a window and look upwards, or perhaps you may want to simply reach out in your mind and talk with them. They are able to perceive your thoughts. And again, try to say something like, human leadership has been compromised and does not represent either myself or humanity. We request intervention from the Galactic Federation of Worlds.
Okay, I'm going to kill it at that. So, Millie wants to know why the audio keeps cutting out. This was actually a video that was just uploaded pretty much right at showtime, so I think YouTube has had a problem processing it, and so there we go. That's why it's cutting out. So anyway, so he said a lot there. What do you think about that, Ash?
Yeah, I mean, what's trippy about this is I watched that, and I messaged you, remember? I was like, man, maybe, I don't know, maybe this is it. Because you don't really hear you hear all these different conspiracy theories just about the UFOs. You don't kind of hear people going right for the heart like this. This is like pretty like, this is what the hell is going on. And it's like, oh, all right, cool. And you're like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, you're always sending me stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you know, that's, but I don't know. These guys seem like they have kind of like, you know, like when Alex Jones make a statement, they look it up. It's true. You know, that happens enough that you start to be like, I kind of like give these people the benefit of the doubt. So I heard that. I thought about it. And then freaking a week later, that article dropped and I was like, no way. That's crazy. And it just picked up steam and it went. And you got to ask yourself, did it fucking work? What he's saying? He was asking his audience to reach out and collect the Galactic Federation of Worlds and intervene. Did it work? Is it working right now? Or did they contact their people and say, all right, time to come clean because we're going to show up? Like, did it work? Is Courtney Brown, did he do it? I don't know. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm not saying it's not. Oh, what do you think? Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Right? What do you think is the question? What do you think? I think that's really what it comes down to. So, okay. So we have again, like just like Ash said, we're always kicking ideas back and forth. We're always talking about this stuff. We're always, you know, kind of negotiating with each other about what shows are going to be, all right, what we're going to talk about. And, you know, clearly we're not always in agreement, but some of these things kind of end up becoming greater than all of us. And here we are, you know, it's okay. Like these things are okay because who knows, right? Like, are we time traveling? Or Courtney Brown time traveling, right? Like, these are the types of things when they drop it 10 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, or sorry, 10 days or 2 weeks. And they're like, hey, Galactic Federation, we're not ready. They won't accept us as like a disclosure candidate yet because we haven't got our shit together as a planet. right? And I'm like, whatevs, you know? Like, this is shit I hear all the time. And then, blam, the entire fucking media is running with this. Like 10 days later. It's unbelievable. I don't know. Some bizarre synchronicity. Okay. So anything else on the remote
viewing? You can never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You
exactly.
Never know.
You never really know.
And there are times I'm off on the deep field or the edge, and Mike yanks me back. I hope you don't think I'm like, I told you so. I'm standing there, told you so. I was actually very surprised and almost a little alarmed.
Wait. Is this your I told you so moment? All right, fine. Go ahead.
Just a tiny bit, man. Come on, just a little bit.
Yeah, you're fine. Totally good.
The remote viewers, that's my thing, bro. You know, and I don't want to be like some of these other guys where like Corey Goods and David Wilcox. You know, I'm not doing shit. I'm just like consuming the content and trying to make connections. So I can't take credit for literally nothing. So, you know, and you should keep your ego out of it and all that stuff. But I'll just
dick.
A little bit.
Dick. That's a dick move. Okay.
No.
All right. So no, hold on.
But like, I mean, but a lot of times I'm serious field. So yeah.
You know,
got lucky.
We always think we're right? That's part of being human, right? It's like we in our own brain, in our own reality, in our own universe inside our head, we put things together and we think that we're right, beyond right, you know, but that's not the truth. That's never the truth. The truth is it's slippery fish, as I always say. And so that's why we do the show. That's always why we've done the show. Okay. Now check this out. This continues. Let's see. Where are we at time-wise? Dude, we almost did 3 full damn hours just on this topic. How crazy is that? Okay. Now,
God, we didn't do news.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is news, right?
Good thing. Yeah, this is news. This is the news. And so, again, this is going to be the format of the show going forward, guys. We're going to skip the news. We're going to be doing news on Twitch. I'll be doing that Michael Strange and conspiracy news on Twitch 5 days a week, starting Sundays. So if you're interested in that and you like the news and you miss the news segments, we'll be doing exactly only that, and it'll be on Twitch exclusively, and then it'll be ripped to a podcast. If you want to find out where all that stuff is, obviously follow the Twitch channel, troubledminds.org. Twitch is right on top. Click the link, do the thing, and if not, join the Discord, and I'll always let you know when we're going live and you can join the show. All right, now, here's the thing. Now here, let's go to this. Now this is a young lady named Stina Maria, Stina Bobina. She calls herself on YouTube, and so I don't think Ash is familiar with this story just yet. So let me fill everybody in. Now she actually looked into this guy, the whole Galactic Federation thing. I'm going to read her tweet. Here we go. I just linked it. She said this. And she does a lot of this, like kind of there's people like us. So let's talk about the UFO community for just a second. There's people like us that are like, all right, let's consider everything as a possibility and let's talk about it. All right, that's kind of what we do. And you know, like we're gonna take flack for that because whatever, you know, like, oh, these guys think aliens are real, a bunch of freaking knuckleheads or whatever, right? But then there's also people that are like, nope, it's not good enough for me that the media tells me so. I'm going to go dig deeper. And she's one of those people. And so, to me, highly respected because she's been like on Corey Good and on David Wilcock and these guys and that, like some of the let's say contradictions that they have in their whatever they are in their being, right? So she's all over that. She's like, nope, I'm not buying this. So anyway, her tweet, like I said, follow her at Stina Maria XO on Twitter. If you're interested, I linked her Twitter there. She said this. She tweeted this, and we'll go through some of this. The whole Galactic Federation thing looks to be a bunch of BS by a journalist, according to the author/editor of the book. The professor shared this post on his own Facebook page. If the original author feels this way and is mocking it, I think it's safe to say the journalist lied. So here we go. So she went through, and so she was actually digging into who this was, and she's got, so here we go. Let's just read some of it. This is from somebody named Hagnar Yane, okay? So I guess is the editor that worked with the author regarding this Galactic Federation. Let's just read some of this. How did he manage to turn Professor Haim Ashad, former head of the Israeli space program and a respectable, solid, restrained, and humble man, into a crazy alien prophet with a delusional fire in his eyes? This creative journalist wonder happens in an article in 7 days where the professor tells about the universe beyond the horizon. His new book, I edited and I also signed it. There's nothing beyond me. Now, this is a translation, of course, so that's why you see this. It's not perfect English. Anyway, it continues. After years of literary labor, the devil assures you that people will finally be interested in you for the small price of selling your soul and self-respect. What you forget to explain is that you sell mostly the newspaper sheets, and tomorrow they will wrap fish, and the greasy stains will remain solely... will remain solely on your reputation. The wrapped fish and the greasy stains on your reputation. One day I will open a psychological workshop for my students on how to deal with this front. Until then, thank God, in parentheses, extraterrestrials, that Professor Ashad is not excited and takes the matter with typical nobility. As a serious man of science and technology, he knows that without a class picture with an island, TEE, there is no way in the afternoon. See, again, like bad translations. And this got pictures of him, right? So this is the guy, this is the individual that's written this book. And so he's selling it as this Galactic Federation. And the actual author, the editor that worked with him on the book is throwing him under the bus and saying that he's off the rails, that that's not what this book is about, and he's trying to sell the book, right? So again, what was he? He was 78 years old, I believe. Let me double check here real fast. Let's see. From the original article, I think he was 78. He's going to be 77, 78, something like that. So anyway, you get the point, right? So there's always another side to this story here, and we have an individual that supposedly, from his social media, that's kind of blasting him, worked with him writing this book, and is saying this is not what this shit's about, and this guy's off the rails. He's trying to sell some books. So I'm pretty sure you didn't know about that, Ash. What do you think about that, buddy?
I didn't. I did not know about this. You got me. No, but no, seriously, like I didn't know about this. And there was that Canadian Prime Minister, I think that's what claimed about aliens. And then you looked into it and you're like, oh, did you have inside intel? And he didn't really say that. He just kind of said, I did a lot of research. So it's like, you're just a high ranked person who kind of looked into this. So that doesn't mean authenticity. And this guy didn't really, he did the same. He didn't really like kind of say I have inside knowledge per se. He just said what he thinks things are. So it's possible. It's not anything. It's BS. But I would say, why did it pick up speed so hard? Is someone pushing it? Is he falling for a narrative and then the machine is pushing it? Is it just that aliens are hot right now? Why did it catch such hot alien fire?
You already know. It's the clickbait. It gets the money. Can you imagine? Okay, think of it in terms of just like overall gross dollars, in my opinion, in the media industry, right? If you put, I don't know, something polarizing politically, it gets clicks, right? Like exaggerate or misrepresent something, it gets clicks, right? That's how they do it. So like something like this, they're starting to realize when they look at their own analytics, they're like, oh shit, every time we post a UFO story, it does better than the political stuff. I think there's something to this, It's the same thing with YouTube and their, how the conspiracy theories, lead you from one rabbit hole to the next. It's the same sort of thing. It's all about ad money. It's about marketing. It's about all these things, right? So I don't know. I think that's why we have to be super on guard today. And again, please don't take me wrong. I'm just telling you, I don't think that aliens aren't real. Okay, I do. But the thing that I don't get is in what capacity, because there's so much just information like sloshing around out there that's pushed by clickbait artists and charlatans and people that take steps that they shouldn't. And like look at that. Like it's like this one young lady on Twitter, Stina Maria. What's up? Shout out to you. I'll link this to you so you can see that I'm not the douchebag everybody thinks I am on UFO Twitter. But it's true. It's totally true. Like you have to look a little deeper into what these people might have as a motive. And then so we have an actual editor of the same book this guy's trying to sell saying, no, this guy's off the rails. So you see what I'm saying? There's something to this. So again, like it's not me to decide for that. It's you to decide. It's just us to bring the information to you. A couple of great things here. A couple of great chats. What's up? Bailey says, Bailey, what's up? Now, hold on. I'm not going to do it. Bailey's too good. I was about to come at Bailey. I did read about the Zodiac, and we're going to get to that on Sunday on the new news show, Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. Follow Twitch if you have not. We skipped the news tonight. You showed up a little late, so yeah. We're not doing news on this show anymore. We're going to do it on Twitch exclusively. So check it out there. Follow Twitch if you have not. All right, here we go. There's a lot more here. I don't know. We could continue talking about this. Any takes on that? On the on maybe selling books or making some shit up, or the guy's old, like no offense to we're all getting old, right? Every day we're all getting old. Maybe he, something clicked in his brain and he's, maybe not where he was, maybe.
I mean, he could be going crazy. It's like the saying, if he's on his deathbed, what does he have to lose? It's like, well, yeah, that goes the other way too. Like, he's on his deathbed. He's older. What does he have to lose? Like, he doesn't care if he lies. He makes his family a bunch of money, leaves them a bunch of money, and then he just, he doesn't have to worry about it because it doesn't matter anymore. So it goes both ways. It is interesting. With this, and I'm not going to defend it or push it. I prefer to entertain it just for entertainment purposes, and it's kind of fun. But you do have to you have to kind of dial it back a second and look at the sources. But at the same time, it's easy to discredit sources, right? The Bob Lazar thing, they discredited the crap out of him.
Yeah.
By saying look, he didn't even freaking work here. Like, what's this guy saying? Well, it turns out he did work there.
Yeah.
He knew the place.
Yeah.
And so over time, his credit adds up, right? So we don't really know if it's he's saying this, she's saying that about his credentials. So, time will kind of tell. It'll settle. It is just interesting how this is like a California wildfire, just went.
Boom.
So anyway. Yeah, really, really crazy. And it's good to dial it back, to have the counter narrative. And, we're having conversations and we all have to do that. We all have to take a step back and maybe I'm full of crap, or maybe he's full of crap. She is. We all are, right? And have to always keep going back because otherwise you just go down past and you get lost. And humans are not capable of perceiving the whole truth. We just really aren't. When I remember learning this in psychology, most of what is just kind of like hearsay. Like, how do your lights turn on? If I ask you enough questions about that, eventually you're going to be like, I don't know, right? You just kind of take your reality's word for it. So same thing here. We're taking the word for it, but you don't know if that word's good. You don't know where in that chain the disinformation begins. If there is some, maybe he's full of crap. Maybe he's crazy. Maybe the book was changed at the last second. Maybe he didn't even say that, right? Maybe he was misquoted.
A bad translation.
Maybe someone's feeding him wrong.
Imagine that. Imagine
the
that.
person who's feeding him information. It goes up the chain. I'm just
all
saying.
of this was just a bad translation. That would be hilarious.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Yeah. Oh, he was actually talking about race cars. What the hell?
Yeah. Who knows? But again, all those are possibilities, and I think that's a good point. We should keep an open mind to all those things. So anyway, all right. So we're about to wind this down. We don't like to go too much over 3 hours because then I'll just piss my pants and it'll be bad for everybody. But let's go phone lines. If you guys have any comments on this, what is your take on this Galactic Federation of planets or whatever it is? Right? There's a ton of information. 10 years ago there were people talking about the Galactic Federation. There's information. I've got a bunch of links, and I will add these links. Again, we take these sources and we go from sources, guys. We're not just making this shit up. We're not hip shooting. We're not just meditating and then coming and doing a show. We got receipts, and whether these sources are good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to be able to show them to you. And that's how we do these shows. That's how we've always done these shows. That's how we'll always do these shows, right? Fake news may be fake news, but us talking about it makes us able to, as a collective, parse the information and decide for your singular self whether this is fake news or not. And that's why we do it this way. It's why we've always done it this way, and that's why we include you. We're live. It's Friday night. If you're listening, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. Get your ass on the show and tell us what you think. Do you really think the Galactic Federation is real and have been maybe protecting Earth or not? Or do you think this is some kind of marketing ploy for the book? Do you think it's possible this guy's senile? Do you think, what's going on? Like, what's really going on here? You tell me. We want to know from you. Like I said, I don't know it all. Ash doesn't know it all. You don't know it all. But together, we know more. And that's what we do. How we do it, why we do it, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. Got a few minutes left for you, and get your ass on here. Let us know what's going on. I'm interested in what you think, because the more I hear, the more I learn, and the more I learn, the more I know. And hopefully it's reciprocal. So, yeah, a lot here, huh? A lot here, Ash. It's unbelievable how the synchronistic stuff kind of smacked us in the face this week.
Yeah,
it kind of happened.
we got hit with the weirdness for sure.
Yeah,
we were like just walking around, and I was like, Mike, I looked at you, and then the weirdness train hit me, and you're like, oh my god, what the hell?
Ash, again? Again?
Dude, like, stop walking in front of train tracks. What's wrong with you, man? I keep telling you. No, but yeah, I mean, we could go on for another 5 hours, because I don't know if we should do another show on it. I don't know if we beat this to death, but you could go back through all of everything and find all the references to the Galactic Federation in every capacity. There, I mean, you guys were linking a bunch of stuff in the chat, and I'm like, oh my god, those are all rabbit holes like we can't even get to tonight. Like the Ashtar Galactic Command.
Yeah, we did a whole show on that. We did a show on that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I mean, I can't even remember how much that correlates, like what the overlap is. So that's what I'm saying. Like, then we do another show. We got to recap, and we got to do all those, and then you guys are going to call in. Then we're going to have a great show and have fun, and it's going to be the worst. So
this is going to be the worst. The great show where we have fun is the worst. All right, but check this out. Let's do it this way then. So I'm going to put the phone number back up. If anybody wants to get on the show, everybody's welcome. This is not, you don't have to be Linda Moulton Howe. You have to be you. That's the requirement to be on this show. You have to be you. That's it. All right? Again, Ash called into the show one day, and now Ash is here, co-hosting the show. Let's see how this works.
Just stranded on Mars.
I banished his ass to Mars, but he's allowed to be on the show. But you get the point, right? It. The point is, you call in, you talk about the things, and this is the way it works, right? This is the way it works. These are the way things happen, and maybe it builds into your own show someday. You never know. Like, these are the types of things that happen. So, anyway, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. TroubledMinds.org is the official website. And again, an announcement for the folks that showed up late. Weird Michael Strange conspiracy news. We're no longer doing news on the show. Has moved to Twitch exclusively, and then to a podcast after that. Sunday, somewhere around 4 p.m. Join the Twitch channel. Go over there, and it's going to be the same thing. We'll do phone number. We'll do transparency. We'll do links. We'll do all the things we've always done, except it's going to be just news format, and we'll talk about the world we live in, and the media and the news cycle and the rest of that. So there we go. There's that. There's the plug for that. It's coming 5 days a week, by the way. More content, right? If you love this show and you love the way we talk and you love the way we think, then yeah, you're in luck, because the content is expanding, and there we go. All right, so given all that shit at the end of it, what do you think? What do you think, Ash? What again? You said that 51% of your money's on the aliens are here, and this Galactic Federation is right. You still sticking with that after the show here?
Well, there's so many. Hold on. Compiling. Loading.
Hold on. Loading. Wait, that's that 6-second delay from Mars.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not my 6-second delay in my freaking brain. It's the transmission. That's right. It. If you follow logic, the universe is huge. And like, it's so big, you don't know how big it is. Like, you literally cannot even fathom it. Our galaxy that have all this crap going on in it, and it is one of trillions. There are more galaxies than there are grains of sand on this whole planet. galaxies, and each one has the potential for planets, right? That are near their, solar systems that have multiple planets that could be near stars. And the data is showing that more and more of these things are there's more and more Earth-like planets. It's like literally they're just either like it's flat Earth, or it's either all the way on that end and we're just in a simulation, it's all fake or something, or we're kind of ramping up to this greater community. Now, what is the narrative for the greater community? Is it being controlled? Is it like there's a lot of interest? But this one, it makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of discrepancies. So I was saying the universe is so big and this and that aliens would have to be conscious. They would have to be civilized. There's got to be some advanced civilization. And if they're just like 5,000 years ahead of us, then they have the capacity to know about us and to be here. So where the hell are they? And this narrative kind of like takes care of all that. So that's why I'm saying like this makes a lot of sense. It fits everything. If it's bullshit, it's really well put together bullshit. It does benefit the powers that be to some extent. And they could use this. They could say, oh, there's bad guys, we got to do this. Oh, there's good guys, we got to do this, right? So it is perfect in that sense, but it makes sense. I mean, look at our world. It's complex. There's like different factions and religious groups and nations and all this kind of stuff going on. So it's probably the same up there. And you can't believe anyone. So I put my money on a few different things. These remote viewers, I put my money on them because they're kind of weird. It's kind of like non-mainstream. Maybe I'm a hipster at heart. I don't know, but I don't know. It's a good narrative, and I saw a lot of comments that a lot of you guys kind of jiving with it too. And like Mike said before, he brought up, it was a very good point. We shouldn't be 100% committed to it, but I'm on board. Based on everything I've seen and read and learned. But who knows? Maybe I'm indoctrinated beyond I could even imagine. So
no, but that continues. That continues. Like again, like if you never consider you're brainwashed, then you've already been brainwashed. You know what I mean? Like you always kind of have to question that reality for yourself. I think it's important. So anyway, let's see. So good stuff here. So the Wizard Gran on YouTube says, sober thinking. You guys are on point. You have to look at every side. Thank you. And that's exactly how we try and do it, right? It's not up to us to tell you what to think. It's up to us to talk about why people think this may be true and then kind of drop those details and then have a conversation. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys hung out today. We got a phone call coming in. We'll take this in just a sec. But the Wizard Gren says new subscriber. I guess we got subscribers coming in. That's good. Again, if you guys want, if you love more of this, we're going to do 5 days a week. I'm doing conspiracy news on Twitch exclusively because, well, to get paid, you have to be exclusive to Twitch for at least 24 hours. So go follow the Twitch account. Again, follow the Discord if you're only into following one thing, and I'll link all that and give you a notification when we go live doing that. So, and of course, I'm sure Ash is my boy. I'm sure at some point Ash will come and do a conspiracy news with me on Twitch, won't you, buddy? That's an official invite.
Invite accepted.
There you
Not
go.
5 days a week. I don't have that
No.
endurance.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Ash is my boy.
Yeah,
so Ash will be on there as well.
Pop up.
Yeah.
I'll be popping in, saying hello. Shout me out. Talk some smack. I love the Ash jokes. If I pop in, add a little spice, a little alien hot fire if I can slip it in.
The big Ash?
Yeah, of course, man.
The big Ash or the little Ash jokes?
I think that was a joke.
Okay, I think it was. All right, here we go. We're going to go to this phone call. and then we'll finish this up. What's up? You're on Troubled Minds with Mike and Ash. What is your first name? Where you're calling from? I think I know, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Millie.
Millie?
From California.
Millie from California. I already knew that. Millie from SoCal. How are you? Thanks for calling in tonight. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Doing good.
Okay, so I did make a comment earlier. I'm confused. Is he Ash from like the back in the day, or was that guy's name Frank?
No, Frank. Yeah, Frank. Frank and Ash don't sound anything alike. I think you had a mind meld.
No, I know.
Like a Vulcan mind meld.
I got confused on the names. Like, I'm like,
Frank's got that deep, sexy voice.
Yeah. No. Okay, so Frank sounded like Darth Vader.
Okay.
Ash is the new guy. All right, here you go.
I know, but I stopped listening for quite a while.
What?
And then I started listening again. So
That hurts my heart, Millie.
the name.
I'm just kidding. You're okay. You're okay. Yeah, this is Ash.
Okay.
Ash, the reptilian from Mars. So what's on your mind tonight?
Okay. So I was calling in to kind of get into what you guys said about, or what the person that you shared earlier this evening said, that our vibration is not up to the intergalactic family yet. I'm not sure if you saw my replies on that when you guys are speaking about that.
Yeah, I
where how could we possibly be? I mean, I understand that as a individual, but I don't know that all humanity understands that, because we're being led by very evil individuals. I mean, if you look at China, if you look at Japan, if you look at India, if you look at Africa, like all these, Argentina, all these countries, even America, I mean, they're being led by very evil people that are purposefully manipulating everybody to have a bad vibration, a very low vibration. And so our whole planet is being led by people with the intent of keeping everybody in a low vibration, sad, negative, evil. That's their intention. So when whoever that, I forget his name, was saying that, the aliens aren't ready to come here and introduce themselves or what have you, because our vibration is not high enough yet. How are we supposed to get our vibration high enough when we're being led to keep a very negative, low vibration? That makes zero sense.
That's a good point. It's like if there's a kid on the playground and the other kids keep beating him up, and then he grows up with like some teenage angst, is that the kid's fault, right? And so I think that's the argument Corey Good was.
I'm not even that's not even a good analogy or a comparison. There are presidents, dictators, communists, dictators, I don't know, whatever they call them, chiefs, that are negative people that enslave all of the people in their country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, however you want to look at it, that's
no, yeah, they actually they remote,
but yeah. So there is a definite negative environment culture throughout the entire planet with everybody in leadership. That is it's just a fact.
Yeah. Okay. So oddly enough, that's
you cannot argue that.
No, for sure. And again, right. So like that's part of the theme of the show as well. It's like we talk about.
So why would the aliens say, we can't come to you unless you guys, get your shit together and blah blah blah, like raise your vibrations? Like, how the hell how are people supposed to do that? I mean, some people go above and beyond and think critically for themselves. They don't follow the leader. They do, break out of it. And, however they do it, I'm aware of. And, but I mean, how can they say that they're not a part of it? Because I wholeheartedly believe that aliens are a part of this. And that there are some aliens that, gave us all this technology and, are kind of manipulating the way humanity is evolving or doing whatever we're doing down here. I mean, how do you not see that?
Well, I
If you
think that's
really look into it, like, how do you not see that? And how can you say that, oh, we're just humans and we're just blah, 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 blah. No, we're being very manipulated. I mean, don't you understand that?
Yeah, of course. Like, but not just that. So we're not just being manipulated by, let's call it the archons or like the negative energy or frequency, vibration, whatever. It might be actually brought on by the aliens, right? And additionally, by clearly our leaders, by the media, by the brainwash, by the this, by the that, by the lefty-righty politics, all the things that we always talk about. It's negativity. It's division. It's what it always is. And it seems like somebody, whatever entity is pulling the strings, whatever puppet master is doing this, whatever that power is not happy unless we're killing each other. It certainly seems to be that that's the case. And so regarding all of that, where does that energy come from? Where does the bad juju come from? Because me personally, I don't think people are inherently evil. I think it becomes...
Exactly. I don't either. I think we are inherently good, and like at our core, like when we're born geniuses, first off. And then we're born with love. We don't hate anything. When we're little kids and we love each other. No, we are taught hate. This whole planet is a manipulation of the mind. It is a manipulation. It almost seems like it's an experiment to see, okay, well, let's try this and see what the hell these, what we can do. What will they do when this is their only option?
Yes.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yes, it does. Like if you pay attention, you're open to it. I agree with you. And what sick experiment from what sick minds, what sick energy? I mean, witchcraft or alien vibrations or evil people. Like evil is evil, and
it is evil.
Yeah,
it
is
pure evil.
It is. Yep, agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, I know I don't read the Bible or anything, but I know that it says in the Bible that evil, the devil or something, will rule the world for 2,000 years. Well, I mean, shit, when did that start? And we're already in 2020, so when is that going to end? Supposedly, if that was the case. I'm not putting down religion or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense if evil rules the planet for 2,000 years. I mean, shit, it's pretty clear.
Would you put your money that it's
like I'm sorry?
Oh, I was going to say, do you think that it's an external force influencing humanity? Like, do you think that like people are generally good, and it feels like something's kind of like mucking the waters and maybe corrupting the elites, or some sort of parasitic
mucking
like,
the waters and corrupting the elites? No, that's not what I think at all. I think humans are generally good at their core. They're born good, and then they're manipulated through whatever, and I don't know, so I won't say, but something is manipulating the human race to be bad and fight amongst each other and do all these crazy things to animals that I can't, and to little kids.
Yeah, like mucking the waters.
All kinds of like horrible things.
Yeah, like something's
this
like
is not
mucking
our
the waters.
Human. Have you ever done acid? Can I say this on the line?
I cannot confirm or deny.
That's illegal. I would never do that.
Well, whether you did or didn't, I'm pretty sure that when you were like not, or did or not do it, like you were like, this is cool, man. I love my friend over here. I love that tree over there. Oh my God, that tree has a lot of information. Like, I love everybody. So our innate being is to be love. Our core is not to hate. That is not what we were born into, and we are taught this. This is something that has been pushed on us as people, as everything. And it's the most insane world to live on. And I've done a lot of research myself, and what I've found is we are one of a few worlds that are able to go through this experience of like the most worst things that you can ever imagine can happen here. But other than that, from what I've studied and researched, is for the most part, they're not all like, there's like an infinite amount of galaxies and worlds and people, not people, but different beings and all that. They're not as bad as this one. Like this is like one of the worst to be on. Earth.
And what's the shame is it doesn't have to be this way, right? It doesn't have to be this way. And you meet your neighbors, you meet other people at the store, and people are, you're right. They're generally good, right? Like life is generally a good thing to do. It's a love to live, and it just feels like a lot of this stuff that happens, and it doesn't need to. We can all kind of be happy and live together, and
That's what I'm saying. Like it's all a manipulation. Yeah. Like we're all being manipulated. I'm talking out the womb, like immediately we're being manipulated. The institution of the schooling and everything, it takes your creativity away, it takes everything away. And then you just have to learn, the history of the country that you live in, like math and the language that you speak.
Yeah, I can't remember
for the
the
most
quote.
part. That's really what schooling is about.
Exactly who said the quote, I can't remember, but it was something to the effect of, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. And so that's pretty much what the indoctrination.
Exactly, yeah. We're being manipulated into being just good worker bees, good workers for the whatever. Yeah, you're spot on. You were spot on. So real quick, I want to read something from chat for you, and then we'll finish this up. Let's see. Where was it? GameVet02 on YouTube says, the only disclosure you will see is for yourself. It won't be from any government. How about your take on that, Millie? And then we'll finish this up. Well, that's true. I mean, when I was 18, I found myself, and I realized that what I was searching for was me. And I realized that the only thing I ever needed was myself. It was a very emotional, wonderful experience. Yeah, so I don't know if that has anything to do with the government. Well, it had everything to do with it because I was already going through, the questioning. Why are we doing this? What's going on? None of this makes sense. Like, what is going on? And then,
you look around and you're like, am I crazy, or is everyone else kind of crazy? Like what's going on? Do you guys not see this thing right here? Yeah, I used to actually, it's funny you say that. I used to sit in cities, and, cities are super busy with people running back and forth. I would just sit there and watch everyone going back and forth, doing all this crazy stuff, running on the phone, running on the train. I'm just sitting on the bench hanging out with pigeons, enjoying the view. Like a old homeless man.
I moved from Southern California to San Francisco when I was 17 years old. And
oh, wow. I did the opposite. I went from San Francisco to Southern California. So, yeah, cool.
Yeah, and I would walk around the city all by myself, like listening to my punk rock music with my headphones on because I wanted to be in a punk rock band. That was my thing for a while. And then I moved back down to SoCal and started going to raves. Well, actually, I went to my first rave in in Oakland, California. And I was like, okay, no more punk rock. And because it was like negative, you know. And
yeah, it was a little. The cities were
became a
crazy for
raver.
me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice. I like it.
Okay, as always, we got tons of good chat we can't read because there's only so much time. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Thank you all for the great calls. Millie, final thought before we finish this up?
I believe that there's more out there for us, and keep looking up, I guess.
Amen. Keep looking up, and keep looking in. I will add keep looking in. Keep looking inside and keep looking up at the skies, because I think both are related. And yeah, amen. Thank you for the positive message tonight, Millie. Thanks for calling. Thanks for being enthusiastic about the show. And thanks for the love.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks. You too.
You too.
There we go.
Good talking to you.
There you go. Millie from SoCal. Simple as that, right? Simple as that. You pick up the phone, you dial, you get on the show. Like I said,
simple as that.
The requirement to be on the show is you be you. That's it. That's all it is. We don't need David Icke or Lennon Moldenhau or any of that stuff. We need you. Because I think more importantly, to get to the bottom of this, is enough of us get together and we're smarter together than the experts, right? That wisdom of the crowd. Go back and listen to that show and you'll see what I mean. Shout out to Tamron, my wisdom of the crowd buddy on that show. And everybody else. Like I said, without you guys, Ash and I are on Discord together calling each other bad names, right? That's really what this is all about.
Just going in circles
Exactly.
until we get annoying.
Yep.
Yeah.
So again, mumbling to ourselves in the corner. So honored and blessed you guys hang out and listen and hang on every word, and honored that you come back and call in and you're engaged in all the great chat. Too much to read, but there you go. That's what the show's about. The show's about you. The show's about us. The show's about coming together. The show's about being positive and aliens, conspiracy, and the paranormal. Bizarre mix, but hey,
sure, brother.
Bizarre bedfellows. It's whatever it happens to be.
And being positive, it's a point. It's like, I feel like in order to kind of get rid of the bad juju and kind of raise the vibration of humanity, you have to kind of be aware of things. And I feel like when you're aware of them, you can kind of resist them or root them out or stay away from them, right? So she mentioned like communism, whatever. If we didn't have those bad experiences in the past, those would sound like good ideas now, right? So, you take your licks. We take our licks as a collective species, and we learn from them. So you do it on the personal level. We do it on the collective level, the collective consciousness, and it goes up, and we have histories and culture. A perfect example of that, and I won't go on a crazy tangent, Mike, but like Japan, after the nuclear bomb was dropped, a lot of their culture is like reflects the horrors of such a weapon being unleashed. Everything from like Godzilla to Akira. I mean, they really deep dive into that. And so as a collective species, maybe one of the reasons they don't come in and help us maybe they keep them from destroying us outright, but they know that like a kid, we kind of have to learn the hard way. And maybe we're learning these lessons for ourselves. Maybe there's just information we don't understand for their decisions, or maybe morally they're not in the same ballpark as us. I don't know these things, but we are learning. We're growing as a community, as a species. Just in this, we have these really deep conversations. I love these conversations, and it's good to move forward. And one last thing on the positive note, and I'm ready to wrap up, Mike, is what if we did do it? What if we're about to join the collective, the astral angelic beings, the Federation of Worlds, utopia, or some sort of, or just another step for humanity. And all we had to do was just, say, fuck that mainstream media stuff. I'm going to figure stuff out for ourselves. And we looked inside, we used our licks, our pain, and we put together, and we thought what it was. And maybe maybe we did it. Maybe we reached out, Courtney Brown and all of them people, and just in general, we've been reaching out. We've done our training, right? We've graduated. We're mature now. And now it's time to join the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Wouldn't that be kind of a cool story? That you were here for that you contributed to it. These conversations. We didn't cross the Delaware, but
but maybe we crossed the Milky Way.
Yeah, beautiful. There, go ahead, man. Take it from there.
There you go. All right. So at the end, with so many great comments, guys, it's hard to read them all. Brian ends with this. I'm going to end with this. Thank you, Brian. Brian says, none of us are wrong. Together. There you go. It doesn't get much more deep than that, much more poignant, much more exactly to the heart of what we're getting at here. You get benevolent like minds together that are open and understanding, and it's amazing what you can accomplish. So thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for all the enthusiasm. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the great calls. Thanks for the great chat. Thanks for the great Ash, the big Ash or the little Ash, whatever it may be. And is that not a joke?
You stupid.
I'm hella dumb. I
didn't want to stop you.
I'm hella dumb. All right. So we do this show Tuesdays and Friday nights, and we're going to continue talking about this stuff. We're going to talk about aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal. We're going to talk about how the world's upside down. We're going to talk about all of those things. We continue. The thing that keeps us going is you. Please tell somebody. That's the most important thing. Go tell somebody, hey, there's more to life than righty-lefty bullshit politics, right? There's more to life than Kim Kardashian and what she's wearing this week. Go tell somebody. Have them come listen. We're not insane. You are also not insane. There are larger problems and larger things to think about in this world. And that's what we do. Thank you again for hanging out. Don't forget, Sunday, new show starting. Michael Strange, Conspiracy News. Join the Discord. Go join the Twitch. And we'll do more of these conversations. But at the end, thank you again, Ash the Reptilian from Mars. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. And we're done. We'll be back on Tuesday or Sunday if you want Conspiracy News time. See you there. Thanks for listening. You guys are the best. And from our troubled minds to yours. Wait, I messed that up. Fuck it. From our troubled minds to yours. Have a great night.
Good night, y'all.